All right, welcome back to the To Be Fair Show. I am your host, Johnny P.
Oh, hey,
Oh, hey,
it's
Red.
Q.
And, and we
And
back. We got a special guest in the building.
yeah.
Quinstagram,
I appreciate that. I
Quinn
appreciate that.
Boga, the homie, family of the show, friend of the show.
Yeah,
We're
Yes,
running
sir.
Skeleton Crew today, so
yeah.
he gonna help us out today. Before we get started, I want to tell everybody, please tap in with us on all socials at the To Be Fair
Mm-hmm.
Show, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell, get all our notifications. And yeah, we got a good one started up for us. First show of October.
Yeah, shout out Rail. Rail's not able to make it this week. He was outside doing some hard labor. And shout out to the guys that's fixing roofs and doing shit.
Oh yeah, getting
Working hard, I think one might
When
say.
they say chop wood, carry water.
I don't know if he says that, but that's
Somebody
what
say
Kyrie
that.
says, and I
Say
say it
that.
sometimes.
Shout
But
out to Tone too.
yeah,
He
Tony.
doing family
he-
thing.
yeah,
He'll be
he-
back next week. So
Yeah, he driving back from Eastern North Carolina, I want to say.
Wilmington, something like that.
So yeah, nonetheless, we're gonna be one shot, and we're gonna have some fun.
That's
I
gonna be a
am
good one.
sandwiched in between Paul's the Rock Hill Boys.
803.
So this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. They have some fun conversations I think that they want to get into that I'm gonna mediate, probably give a little bit of opinions, and it's just gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a good one, man. I'm excited, man.
And like I said, I appreciate. So, it's my first time. I know a lot of y'all are seeing me, but I've been on the sideline. So
Mhm,
since like the
mhm.
other team members are out, put me in, coach. So,
There you go.
Here you go.
Put
Here
me
you
in,
go.
coach.
I feel as though like it's an honor to be here. The first To Be Fair show in October, and it's funny. What were we talking about? I saw something on Instagram
You
where
said something
this
about a
girl I
big
follow-
booty or
Yeah,
something.
apparently October is take a big booty girl out to a date or dinner. Now, I don't know why anyone would do that naturally. I mean, I know I would, but I just feel as though this is a good month to be on here too. So I appreciate it.
Okay.
So what big booty joint you taking out on a date?
Well, first it just depends on like how my schedule lines up, but I make room for it.
You can always make a little room for a big
Yeah,
booty.
yeah,
Is that what you're
I
saying?
can squeeze you into the schedule, shorty.
I mean, I
Oh.
was gonna say you don't gotta squeeze them, but it's just honestly like when it comes to dating, like I say, me and John lived together. I remember being making their 20s and just like, man, I don't want to do a date. I shouldn't have to do this, chicken wing and fries. But like the older I got, the more you appreciate actually going on a date. So like I say, when it happens at least. But yes, I will definitely believe in like feeding and keeping women healthy. That is always on my priority list. So
Feeding and keeping women healthy.
yeah, absolutely.
Keeping them healthy. Like when you say healthy,
Like women are supposed to have meat on their bones. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was an advocate for it.
Okay,
Now,
so you're more of an advocate for thick girls.
the thick girls-
I know some Rock Hill boys that like them like really petite for some reason.
not
I
this-
was wondering if that was a Rock Hill thing.
Hey, see what you gotta know about the Rockets. We like them all. We like
But-
them big, skinny,
But there's a specific
everything in
like
between.
taste for the white though, right? The white meat.
Niggas like, hey, this is gonna
Guys
sound crazy. No, this is gonna sound. We like.
Go ahead, you can say it.
No, we like the white meat and the dark meat. I get the
Okay,
whole,
y'all
I
like
get the whole
both.
chicken.
Okay, y'all
I
eat
get the
the
whole chicken.
whole chicken.
I
Okay,
get the whole
okay.
chicken. I ain't picking and choosing.
All right.
Yeah, it's just all about who, like who you click with. You know what I'm saying? So if it feels good, if it feels organic, like that's how I choose to go for it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
When you go out on a date, it's not only for like what she can get out of it. Like you're gonna get something out of it. Like have fun with it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, but yes, going on that concept. I don't know where I heard this from. I'm not trying to offend nobody's taste, but someone was just like, if a man likes skinny or smaller women, he could be like other things that are kind of a red flag. You know what I mean? So women are supposed to have meat on their bones. And everything else. So I forgot who told me
Hey,
that.
listen, you got to chalk it up with the with one of your Rock Hill boys.
Rock
It's
Hill
like
is
they were very intentional about very petite, smaller women.
with fit. It's this one. That's one of the F's. But it said take a big booty chick out. What about the skinny joints? They don't get taken out this
It's
much.
not their month.
Mm.
It's not their month.
But
And
would
that's
you
fine.
would you take out a petite, a pretty petite black woman
Yeah, absolutely.
or any woman? Because
I-
right now you're not specifying black woman. This could be a PAWG, right?
I guess technically you could. Fellas, the whole point is like, as long as you got a wagon, you know what I'm saying? As long as I can clear the wagon, that's all that's important. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Other
But you
stuff
would
is-
take a PAG out for this month also.
He got to spell that out.
There's
A
nothing-
Paul
I'm just
Gay.
thinking, it's just- I wouldn't have anything against it. You know what I'm saying?
You would take a PAG out. Okay. All right, you stay into the lineage of the Rock Hill boys. Speaking of lineage, Johnny, I'd love for you to start us off in this conversation. Are we starting off with nationalism, black nationalism,
Yeah, let's start off with
sexy
nationalism.
Soulaan? I don't know.
Yeah,
Talk to
I
us.
got the. Yeah, I don't know. I sent it. Did you send it into the thing? I can pull up the
Um,
definition
okay.
right
And
here. But it's just a powerful ideology, political movement centered on the belief that a nation defined by shared characteristics and culture, history, ethnicity should be a sovereign and independent, state. And I think it speaks to like again, we're living in a world where people are fighting against globalism. And so I
okay.
do think, like in the context of a global economy and stuff, having nationalism is something that's important. It's something that we're like
And
Americans
to make
can
sure that so right now you're talking about American nationalism,
strictly
right?
just American nationalism. Yeah,
Hmm.
we can work our way down, but I think having a
Okay.
strong America is important for the people in it. Even if there's a lot of people in America that would still not go to other, wouldn't want to go to other countries because of where our position in America. So I do think maintaining that and keeping America strong is important if we're living in America.
But I mean, America's always been strong. Like America's always had its cultural identity. I think with what you're saying is there has to be a line between culture and then nationalism. I feel as though nationalism is a little bit more of this is right. It's like you're not casual about your country. That's what I feel as though nationalism is, and like why there has been like the Tea Party movements and all these other sub political classes. So I just think that there is a distinction between loving your country and what's best for your country, and like we will take care of what's happening at home versus being more aggressive about it. That's just my biggest thing about that. So,
And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the spokespeople for nationalism tend to be aggressive, but I mean, I think a lot of the things they have said, I mean, not to be on the right, but like with jobs and stuff, and stuff, I think there's a lot of things that they have spoke on that would have helped our country, would have helped protect the middle class. And I think, that's something we have to pay attention on, not necessarily get caught up in the emotional. I feel this way, or I feel this way. I'm obligated to this, but we just look at like what they're talking about. I think there's a lot of conservative ideologies that would serve people, black people, very well. And I think and I don't think nothing's wrong with like being from America, no matter who you are,
no,
and
absolutely not.
being like, I want America to be as best as possible. Like we're the greatest country. I want to stay there. I don't want to be the third greatest country in the world. Like, why would I not want to keep America at the top of the food chain?
And I think with the nationalism, I don't think no one necessarily wants that. I guess like what I'm thinking about it now is when it comes to the nationalism, I think the problem has, and I'm so glad like I can actually focus on this point. People are confused on what's right when it comes to nationalism. There are a lot of people that think you have to wear everything American flag. You have to go to this church. You
Mhm.
have to do this. You have to do this. Your house has to be structured this way. 2.5 kids. And I think that's where the problem is at. To where most people, when it comes to nationalism, they have one idea of it, and now they're shutting everyone else out that is American. And I think that's where a lot of the confusion and where it just doesn't feel right to be nationalist. So, like a better word.
No, and I get that. I mean, like, I don't think the people who speak the most nationalist stuff, I don't think they're the best people in the world. I don't necessarily agree
Oh, they think they're the greatest. They cream the crop.
with everything. But I
Very
mean, if
sad.
an idea is a good idea, and I'm like, there might be some validity in that, I can separate the man from the message or the man from the music or whatever. So I think there are some ideological things that work better for the middle class. And I think if that's where black people want to, most
You think
Americans,
nationalism works best for the American black middle class?
I'm not talking about black, I'm talking about just in general, the middle class. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Not
And,
necessarily black, but I think just, I'm talking
okay.
about
All right.
just,
So I guess let's sparse some of this out. So nationalism, your take in general is that like you are pro American nationalism,
or
right?
pro whatever's going to keep our country as strong and powerful
But
as
that could be
possible.
like 1,000 different things. So,
But that's
to
why I
some
think,
people, that could be socialism. Like that could be kind of like if you just make your statement as broad as do whatever is best for America. Like I don't know what that means. Are we speaking about nationalism or are
yeah,
you talking about?
national, yeah.
All
So
right, so you're for American nationalism, right?
yes,
Okay, and within that framework, do you think that American nationalism benefits black people?
I mean, yes. I think black people have benefited for America being the greatest country, and I think a lot of the things we've
But
done. But
would one argue that American nationalism is rooted in the exploitation of black people?
American nationalism,
Yeah, like
Mhm.
the wealth of the country, the idea, what is pushed out, the reason why foreigners come here and look down on Black people. Like so much of it is exploitation of Black American art, Black American service, Black American, death in life.
I mean, of course. I mean, like, but I think,
and then we still.
So you're saying Black Americans help build this country, right? That's
I'm saying.
You're saying. So of course, like, yeah, I mean, the country exploits a lot of people, not just Black people. They exploit the labor class a lot too. So
no, they do. But do you think that there's a group that's
the only people?
Do you think there's a group that has been exploited more than Black people?
I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. Black people are probably the most like I said. If you separate it by class, of course, there's going to be one class, but for the most part, yeah, Black people are the most exploited.
Gotcha. So arguments that I have heard in the past and that have resonated to me, and I think that right now is like a new wave of like an interesting space where we're starting to see some specific Black groups that are like really into like we're America and like this is like the American flag and like that whole thing. But like a common conception and perspective for most Black people that I have been around and seen and had conversations pretty much previous to like any of these like most recent movements is like at times whether it was the national anthem and not wanting to stand because of the idea that these words inside this anthem has not been representative of the Black experience in America. And until they hold it true in value, that I don't feel that this is representative of me. And but as you keep walking back, the idea of like just loving the American flag and thinking about what was it at the Olympics when homie did this and all these different versions of protests that people that were doing things under the name of America also did protests simultaneously when it came down to like the representation of how Black people are represented in America and almost will typically shun the representation or the symbolism of America inside that.
But they still going and playing for the American flag. Like they didn't sit out the Olympics.
No.
They're still going and represent. Now, yes, you put a fist up, be like, you put an asterisk on it, but at the end of the day, you're still representing America's natural interests on the global stage as a Black person. Anybody that goes and plays for the Olympic does that. They put that flag on, and it's a pride thing. The Dream Team. Think about the American flag, like how much national pride we had in watching the Dream Team go, and think about how much we.
I don't think that it was national pride.
But that's the.
I think they just love seeing all the best players beat up on everybody. That's what people care about.
So when we lost, that wasn't like a national embarrassment.
It was embarrassment that the NBA got beat. Like I don't know that everybody's like, oh, America has fallen because the basketball team lost.
It's a point of national pride. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of national pride in the bed. Even this year, everybody watching them beat France. It was like everybody in the like
because it was LeBron, Steph, and KD's last hurrah.
It was a bunch of people who never watched basketball watching the Olympics.
It's people that never watched anything racing and they watch people race.
They're for the country. They're not watching LeBron. They're watching the country. They're watching the United States.
All right, so my bad. So right now the NBA like they're doing like there's like the World Cup qualifier. Whatever. Like the U.S. has a group over there right now. Why is nobody watching it? Like it's like mad. It's like 10 or 12 in not NBA, but they're that kind of like G League adjacent players.
Talking about the soccer World Cup?
No, I'm talking about basketball. The shit that Giannis just cried about like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, the basketball World Cup. Oh, because it's the minor league. It's not the
no. Like if we're talking national pride and it matters and everybody cares, like this is
because it's not the Olympics. That's why they're not watching.
My point is that people cared to watch it not because of national pride. It's because of Steph, KD, and all the NBA players.
Watch the Olympics for national pride. They count the medals by country.
Yeah, I'm making a very specific point. So obviously everybody watches the Olympics because of they want to cheer on and watch the sporting events. Some of that's going to be national pride and the idea of like I don't know, the medal count and all of that. I think that there are specific things that people don't necessarily care about national pride in. So if we take racing, for example, a lot like you will see a lot of people cheer on the Jamaicans. Like Usain Bolt was getting cheered on. Them Jamaican girls was getting cheered on. A lot of people cheer against Trevor Noah or whatever the nigga name is. Noah Lyles.
Trevor Noah. No, I get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's sporting events in which people watch the competition, and then there's sporting events like swimming. You're just like, I just guess I'll go for the American. I think that there is a difference in some of these things based on like what the event is.
And I mean, like when
It's a
you were
fair
saying
point.
something
I'll
about
give
like
you that.
you're an athlete, you're on a national stage. I think that is more of like a pride thing. Like I'm the best of the best. I'm the best athlete.
Yeah.
But I really feel as though with what you're saying is like they don't feel rah rah American pride. They're happy to be there. But how they feel when it comes to are they a patriot? I think that's a whole different concept.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to illustrate.
Yeah, like
Yeah, you can be on a national stage, but you can still, I feel this about America. Like I can love my family, but I know like what type of strikes we have at home that's gonna stay behind closed doors.
right,
So
right,
you have to
right.
disconnect the athlete and the country when they're on that stage. And I feel as though that's fair.
Yeah, and I think that most people don't want America to specifically fall. I just don't know outside of like the Twitter iteration of like American black people with American flags. It's kind of like
What
this
about
new
black
thing.
veterans?
I
What
think
about-
that
there's
like
a lot of black
that's
veterans that are like
there's a lot of black veterans. I think the majority. My bad. Like even if we rewind, there's a lot of black veterans that are not really for how veterans are treated.
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah, like there's a lot of them that has disdain
The
for.
VA is totally different.
They have
in
a
the
they have a
country.
lot of there's a lot of black veterans that have disdain for like the American flag and aren't like patriot. Let's go, Americans.
Not the flag,
Like they
but
feel that they risk whether it's their knees, their ankles, whatever the hell is, and they didn't get their just due from America when they came back. You hear that exact same story about
like
the guys
they
in
went and
Vietnam
fought
too.
for the American ideals, though. That's not why they go out there and fight for freedom
Mm,
and stuff
For
like that.
democracy,
And so, like even
for
black
I
people, when they
think
come
that's
over
very
there, I've heard
minimal.
black people come back from over there and be like, "Well, I fought for. I know we're not there yet, but like this is the country that gives us the best shot to get it, and that's what we're fighting for." And like my dad was a veteran. My dad fought in wars.
Yeah, my
And so-
dad was a marine as well. But like my dad, Jeremy, like most people that I know that's black that went into the military didn't go in for national pride. They went in because that was their option to be able to like that, like it was pitched like, but there's a big difference then. Like going in because of your scarcity of options, and this is the way that is the safest way, or not safest way, but a known way that you can make something out of yourself and get a decent paycheck, come out and be, hireable into America. Like this is the pitch thing that gets pitched to a lot of people. When I talked to my dad about why he went, I think he spent his 18th birthday in basic training, in which like for him, he didn't like, he was kind of fucking up a little bit in school, and he was like, hey, this is going to be my option to where I make it out of East Orange, New Jersey, and it gives me an option. It wasn't national pride. I want to go fight and hold up American ideals. Rail is the exact same example as well, where he had a bunch of things that was like moving in concert that were negative, and this was his option and way out. I mean, it had nothing to do with national pride.
People do a lot of things for self. I mean, well, not selfish, but individual reasons. Like, I don't think everybody, most white people probably don't do it for national pride. They do it because of the
but you was making that point.
But I'm saying, but over the time, you do learn that. Like over that, like that's when my dad came back and was telling me about this country and stuff like that. There are things that you might not start off going into it with, but you take from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something where, like, especially you fight beside a lot of people. I know a lot of black veterans that like not necessarily happy with the things that are going on in this country, but still have pride.
And like they're draped in American flags around the house, and like there's just like America above like black identity, America above I don't know if it's African identity, America above
American. There's a national pride. I know, like I'm thinking in my neighborhood, there's a couple of, and it's a new dude that I don't know if I think he's a veteran, but he got a flag in his yard, black guy, POW. And so, like, I ain't never talked to him.
POW, what's that mean?
Prisoner of war or something. I mean,
you said he's a black guy that was a POW.
Or yeah, I mean, you can tell by his house. He got all the military stuff outside his house.
Oh well, clearly, then that makes sense that he would have the flag.
You said you don't know a lot of black people that fly the flag, and like he's one that I just recently like he
got a flag in his yard. Saying right I don't know a lot doesn't mean that there's none. There is some. I don't know a lot of black people that do though. Like if you go to a black neighborhood, you're not going to see like this neighborhood is primarily black. It's kind of mixed, but it's primarily black. You don't see any flags around here. If you go to my people's neighborhood, you don't see any. You go to pretty much the majority of the west side of Charlotte. You're not going to see an American flag. As soon as you go like South Charlotte or rural, you start seeing flags. It's a very stark difference, in my opinion.
And I think it has more to go into like how we were treated, 50s, 60s, and just the progression of black people in this country. Because I mean, like I think I was telling you, like my mama, I remember my mama telling me growing up, we have never, no shirts, nothing from Old Navy. We never had any shirts that had the American flag on it
Lem-
because the country just didn't fully represent us. It has a lot of these principles, but it's still not fully representing us. That's just where I think most black people are at.
And I mean, of course, I mean, even as a black person, I don't always feel represented by the majority of places I go. But let me ask you this though: do you think like just to take it outside of race, and maybe this is the idea I had?
Mhm.
Do you think it might be socioeconomic? Because a lot of the black people I do know that they aren't they are more middle to upper class. So you don't think socioeconomic? And you said like a lot of poor white people I don't think are flying the flag also.
But do you know a lot of black people that aren't military that are higher in socioeconomic status that are flying the flag?
One.
Right. And to me, like of all of them that I know,
But I have to
a lot of
I
them
have
end
to
up
think
still
back.
kind of having like more pro-black views, more black nationalist views than they have specifically America first views. Like I don't know that to be like a thing. Whether you want to go scholarship or you want to go like black capitalist. I don't know a lot of them
And
to.
I probably are, and I'm not saying that most people are. I'm just advocating of like what I think the importance of it is and what. But I think yeah, you're right. Probably more black people are
I
not
think that there
nationalism.
should be a baseline of national pride that a country should have to where you don't want to be or like you don't think that your country is worthless. So like that's a baseline that I can agree with. But I think like the level of patriotism, especially for black people, I don't know it to be like this beneficial thing to like be at like this heightened level of wearing the flag and flying the flag and fighting for America and like like that whole little thing. Uh Based on if we believe in systemic racism, if we believe in like the attack on the black family, the black man, if we believe inside like like all these different versions of things that to this day still
I mean,
hold evident, then I think that it's okay to be a passive patriot or a passive national like just have like your basic baseline of like I still would rather be in America, but until it upholds what I feel the American truth is, the American quote unquote dream and standard to all black people as well, then I'm gonna kind of chill on like
I mean,
outward.
I could get that, but okay, and like okay, and I think I look at it differently because like America is my home. But what about like regional pride? Is there anything wrong with that? Because there's a lot of people that represent their
North
state,
Carolina.
like and
I think I
these
see regional
states.
pride a lot more than
But
even
these
like
states
national.
aren't any better than the country because, like, I mean, there's been racism that went on in these states, and like all the same
Mhm.
thing that you could attribute to a country, you could attribute to a state. But we give it's okay to be at North Carolina, take your shirt off, and we represent our states.
Yeah, but I think that that's a fair point. But I'd also say that I think that like the closer you get I guess like regionally like vicinity wise, the more that there's specific cultural identifiers that people are going to gravitate towards, and like the closer you can collectivize that, then the more you're going to have like a version of I don't know what's the word like nationalism for like a state or something like that, or statism. I don't know what the word would be.
Regionalism,
Regionalism, there we go. But when you branch America across the board, it's such a huge, diverse region that is like not really homogeneous inside any way, outside of we're
and
inside
a
the
lot
borders
of
of
people
America.
in America would argue that's one of our strengths. So a lot of people that'll argue the diversity of
Oh,
America is like one
cool,
of the strengths, and even more reason to
cool. You got to
represent.
take that up with Mag and them boys.
Yeah, because I was about to say, like,
Like they say that America is white in power, and that they don't want it to be anything other than that. Yeah.
So, and I mean, like, when you're talking like what you're saying, like with the states, I feel as though when it gets to like the state level, like I feel as though you look at maps, the black population is typically like in the south and southeast. So,
Oh
like,
yeah.
and even with the history of this country, a lot of Black people will say that they love being Southern. You know what I mean? When something's more of like a state and local level, you can connect with it better.
Hmm.
But when it's this whole nationalism thing and like all the laws and trickle down effect, and like we're gonna make these rules for society, these rules, when it comes to, like, civil rights and the whole
Even on
white
the
people crossing
even
the
on the
water
state
stuff.
level, why would you like represent any of the states in the South? Like be a big Georgia advocate when they were literally part of the Confederate and fought to keep black people slaves.
I,
But like, how would you have? But it's that's people who represent Georgia. Like, it's so many songs about Georgia. Georgia on my mind, like Georgia. But think about what Georgia did in the context of them as a political entity. They fought to keep niggas slaves.
you have a fantastic point about that, and like that's actually something that I think we can open up. But I guess when it's more of like a local state level, I go back to the whole, like, it's kind of like a family thing. Yes, it has its own problems, but it's still, you're more connected.
Yeah,
with yourself.
it's more identity to it.
Yeah, there's more identity. That's the perfect word for it. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, that's just why I'm not trying to change anybody. I'm just stating my things on nationalism. I guess we can
Like the closer you get inside proximity, the more people feel pride in the thing. Like America's like, but then you say state, like we make North Carolina, South Carolina state jokes a little bit. But then once you be like Charlotte and you go city, now like everybody, like guys represent Charlotte. But then when you go like west side of the town, that's even more
but
direct.
they're all a bigger part of the collective of America. Like all these things we
Like
love.
Nobody will argue,
love,
but nobody will make that argument. But I think the closer it is and the more regional, the more cultural identifying that it identifiers that it has, the more people are going to gravitate to having a closer affinity and love. Like once you then branch it all the way back out to America and it becomes fairly ambiguous, and then you're talking about all the things that this collectively has done. I think that it becomes so much different than like like the ugly girl next door. Like I've grown to look at her as like she kind of regular. I see her enough. Like when they say like the prisoners that some
sexy girl next door.
Well, I'm saying ugly because these states would be ugly.
Oh, okay.
But eventually you've grown some version of like humanization for her because of you're around her so much to where it's like, yeah, right. It's like what they say when prisoners they get a mid guard, they treat her like she fired because I mean that's the only little piece of meat they got. But it looked like we got a bunch of comments in here. I guess we gotta read a few of them. You got the good eyes, Johnny.
Shit.
I'll try and make it a little bigger for you. We'll start with.
Can you make it full screen?
I ain't gonna be able to click it. But this is what we'll do.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. No,
damn, why I keep doing that? God, all right, well, never mind. It still works like this. You can see it.
Yeah, I can see it better.
All right, there you go.
All right. Most of the white people that I know that I've spoken to about going to the military all had self-love and self-pride for the nation. That was their reason. I have no idea who you spoke to.
Yeah, he spoke to. Yeah. All right. Let's see where did that go? He had a point about military, like being specific to. He's saying it right there. The military is always put towards lower income Black people as a way that they can further their education by the government giving free money for education or free money for college.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact too, though. They look out.
Johnny,
do foundational Black Americans feel as American as foundational white Americans? I do.
I would say
I do.
I mean, I guess that's like collectively.
I'm probably more.
I don't know. I would say
like I think the interesting word in there is feel. Like, what does feel mean? I don't think that I feel the like the sentiments of what America is supposed to be has connected to me as much as that it has like foundational white Americans. But are we more do the right of the American dream, the American, whatever, than the foundation of white Americans? Yeah, probably. Because I think that we've died and enslaved a little bit more, not even a little bit, a lot bit. Chuck got one.
Is America a white ethos state centered on white people, or has the melting pot melted all of us together in a stew of pro-American multiculturalism?
That's an interesting question.
With what he's saying is, I feel as though with the MAGA and things right now, it's getting more into the whole, we want to bring it back more white centered. Because have you noticed that more and more recent years since the 2000s, it's been more of the whole America's a melting pot, America's a melting pot. And actually, a lot of people are still surprised. If you say this wrong, the wrong person, they're going to get riled up. Like English isn't the first language of America, and like a lot of people are
You
surprised.
said English isn't?
It isn't, especially the way there's so many Spanish people. Like America doesn't really have like a native language of itself. So we can look that back up. But I was
I
surprised.
don't know
when
that.
I think yeah, I don't know about that. I
the-
think
Yeah, I don't
you
know.
know, it really. I
are
was
you talking about
surprised.
the land or the colonies?
You know,
'Cause
when it comes to America, like when it comes to our language, you know how most people say America we speak English.
Yes.
When you look at America, I think somewhat where it's labeled as for America, they don't say English is our first or native language anymore.
for the
What
whole
did it-
like
For-
North
for
America.
for America, USA, United States of America.
We gotta look this one.
That's and so that surprised me. Yes.
Where are they saying this at?
I honestly, man, I cannot remember like a few years ago when I first saw that. And you know, it goes back to like when people used to be mad, like I'm calling into a call center, they're telling me I gotta press 2 for English. Like that is the fastest way to rile somebody up. You know what I mean? So
press 2 for English.
yeah, press 2 for English. Oh my God, you talk to an older person.
What would one be?
One would be Spanish. One was Spanish. So to not ramble and go back into that, I feel as though we have gotten more.
You said one was Spanish?
Yes. This I remember this one story. I forgot where I was at.
That sounded like it was on the east side.
No, this was something like back in the day. I don't know if I was like doing retail or something. Just this old person started talking to me. But overall, to answer that question, I feel as though
US.gov says yes.
But you see, like it was designated
I
as
guess-
the official on March 1st, 2025.
That is interesting.
So like what was it before?
Exactly.
What does it say? What does nationalism?
That shit crazy. It just became the official.
But I guess it's still saying in US spoken English is spoken inside 75% of
since 1780.
75% of American households, despite efforts since 1880. So yeah, like it's still like the predominantly
75 is
used
kind of low,
language.
though, honestly.
Low? You think so? I think that how many Hispanics are here and foreigners? Like when you put them all together, does that make 25%? If so, then it makes sense.
You've got Germans, you've got Filipinos. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other like, racial
Yeah.
classes in here, but the number one, like you were saying, basis is the Latino Americans. So I feel as though like it makes sense when it comes like the whole Spanish thing, with how far it is. There's like a lot of Latinos, especially in the Carolinas, the South itself. So yeah, I just feel as though we've gotten away from the whole melting pot idea that we were originally taught. I feel as though the normal of society now is just not messing with that no more. And I think it's sad. You know what I mean? So,
With the idea, yes, I think that we're about to segue our way into some of these conversations that's going to lead a little bit into here. LTL, no, I haven't watched that. Drop a link when you get the chance. But I see that there's a few people inside the chat. We're about to segue our way.
Answer for us, though they have not. Like,
Right. You don't know what Johnny watches on his free time. But yeah, chat, we about to get to the Sexy Soulaan conversation, the Pan-African versus Black nationalist part.
Before we get there, I do want to speak on the multinationalism of America.
Yeah.
Like most of our, like, because you think like you go to the Midwest, there's a lot of like French name towns, German name towns, Spanish name towns.
Okay.
And it does come from like America did collect this land and a lot of these territories. A lot of it came from France, and a lot of it did come from Spain. That's why you get like Lafayette's and like all the French names and like New Orleans, like all that's French. And then out in like California, you got the San Diego's, San Francisco, all that's
the Los Angeles,
all that's Hispanic or Spanish. So America was a diverse country from the day one.
America was a diverse.
Or it was a diverse place. Maybe not the country, but a diverse place, the lands. But yeah, that's all. I just wanted to drop. I just wanted to land on that one before we get to the Pan.
But I am. I didn't really think about it, but there has been a rise in a pushback for the multicultural melting pot thing that you said, and then there's, truthfully, been a rise in the idea of America needing to explicitly be a white controlled state
and Christian too.
White Christian controlled state.
Yeah,
I think that like that is the great replacement theory. That is you will not replace us. That is like a primary source of how Trump and MAGA has been able to coin and trick even rural Caucasians, elite Caucasians, like a majority of Caucasian women, which a lot of these policies might not even be beneficial to as well. into this grouping is from the dog whistles, and it a lot of times it's become explicitly it's become explicit, the idea of America needing to stay a white Christian controlled space, in my opinion.
I agree with that. And I mean, like, it's funny because, like, I know I'm not trying to like get ahead of the program. I'm not bigger than the program, but I've actually had some great memes along with
anybody.
this
Sometimes, anytime somebody say that,
Yeah.
I mean,
anytime somebody say that,
I'm not saying like it'd be a punitive thing like that, but it's just like no, I feel as though with everything going on right now, and respectfully, respecting everyone's politics, like we're still not even in Trump's first full year. And just look at how there's so much disassociation, and there is honestly America's having a cultural identity war right now. That's really and truly what
yes,
it's like in a weird midlife crisis.
Speaking of cultural identity wars, you just alley-ooped us a perfect segue into this.
Count it.
So there has been a lot of talk that's been going on in the FBA streets, the B1 streets, the Pan Africanism streets, the give me another one, Johnny. The Ado streets, the Soulaan streets, the Freedman streets.
I know a Freedman Street too.
Yeah. Might have been inside some of the Hebrew Israelite streets.
Was that the Kingdom of Judah?
You say whatever you want. I don't know. I don't know.
I ain't trying to get them on my case either.
Yeah, they know our address.
Let me stop.
All right, I'm gonna push play. All right, so this video, Monaleo, she dropped a record, Sexy Soulaan. We'll play a little bit of it, talk about it, play a couple reactions. Yeah, I feel like that's enough of the video. I'd love to throw to you first. Q, what is your thoughts?
I guess my thoughts on it is, I guess, like with how I get about this, and just really, she was just really trying to isolate to like us as like Black Americans. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Okay. And I think that, like I said, she was just trying to like really, hey, I love you as other Black Americans. We're awesome. Anyone that's not, y'all aren't as awesome. So, I mean, I kind of get what she was doing, but me personally, would I have been that loud about it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, probably not, but I ain't rapping trapping. So.
Why you say you wouldn't be so loud about it?
I don't know.
What you saying about Black women, Quinn?
No, I didn't say it was about Black women. I'm just it wasn't about Black women. It was about like Black people in general. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about the lips, your noses, things like that. Things that we've been ostracized for instead of like we're ugly features. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think that you wouldn't be as loud in embracing it? Is that what you're saying?
No, not embracing it, but just like when she was saying like the whole ew, like ew, you go to the back of the line, things like that. And I'm not gonna put down any of the race or things like that. Maybe that's who I am as a man.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was trying to get to. Yeah. So that's when
you wouldn't be so forthright in saying being exclusionary.
Yes. That's
okay. Johnny, what was your first reaction?
I was wondering why Conscious Lee was in the video. That was my first.
Why was you wondering that?
That was my first, because
why couldn't Conscious Lee be in the video?
Because to me it seemed like a conflict of interest.
Why so?
For the message.
Why so? He's a Black American, ain't he? He's born in America, got American parents.
Yeah, he's the.
I think he's like by lineage.
Yeah, by lineage. Yeah, but I don't think the lineage is. Some people. I think a lot of people who like this video don't necessarily rock with him. So I think
that's true. But
like that was an interesting, putting it in there for me. I'm like, huh.
But what's the conflict of interest with him being in there, and with who?
Lee, yeah.
Oh well, no, because he's not FBA, but I think it's her fans. I think, or the people who would specific. Well, no, actually, no.
But when you think, so what do you?
Video,
for example, what do you think like this would mean right here? Then?
Right, and I guess I saw the video. Like I came in a little biased because I got Ellie. I knew kind of what it was about, and then I saw Conscious Lee, and I'm like, huh, they not gonna like this. So to me, I just figured it was gonna cause what it's causing.
And I think that, and I'm about to play him right now. So, and I think that this is pretty much where the conversation has devolved into, exactly where Johnny went. I don't know if that was an intentional or unintentional alley-oop, but Conscious Lee is, I guess, more so a Pan Africanist, but he is a Black American by birth, I guess you would say.
By lineage.
By lineage, he's a Black American, and a original push to how some people were exposed to this was via the outlet of like the FBA people posting it, talking about it, highlighting Soulaan. But I would also say the video was also pushed inside a lot of Pan-African channels because of like the messaging with the flags in the background. Like you seen it pushed with explicit messaging from both sides, where the Black Americans really held on to the idea that she had the black flag on, and like I don't know, it was a weird. We'll get there in a second. And then the Pan-Africans, they really loved the fact that she had a stitched together African background that showed all the different nations.
Collage.
Yeah, collage that show all the different nations, which to them symbolize some version of solidarity and support for all Black people, and it not just being specifically only Black American.
Which I think is the crux of the. I think she did something purposeful too.
Okay, all right. So, with that said, we'll start off with a couple consciously memes.
Here we go.
And we'll segue our way into the conversation. This was his response. Well, I guess, yeah, we'll play this first.
Lord have mercy, y'all. Now, you just watch this video right here. This is consciously. He's dancing to Monaleo. That song with the Soulaan flag in it, right? Why? Why is he doing it? Why is he doing it? See, I understand why, though. You know what I'm saying? I really do. See, when you push so hard for the Democratic Party, you say some wild shit. And this man said a lot of foul shit to Black Americans, especially for the ones that want to delineate. This man was riding the coattails of the Democrats so hard. He said the emancipated people will be deported. This man ran a campaign saying that we can be deported too. This man gave false information about foundational Black Americans. He said a lot of false things, but just mighty funny that he's repping the flag now.
So before I get into them other piss poor constructive arguments, let me school y'all on this flag, man. I just so happen to have a degree in African American studies, where I learned a couple of things about this heritage flag. Oh, this is coming from the original Black American Heritage website as well. Read it with me. Talking about the symbols of this flag specifically. Superimposed on the black stripe is a golden wreath of fig leaves. The cultivated fig is a native of Africa and ranks as one of the most ancient of life-sustaining fruits. But consciously, you can't be proud of your Black American heritage if you disagree with the foundational Black American politics. Bullshit. Facts over feelings too. I ain't making none of this up. Y'all see that gold wreath right there? That's what the website say. Centered within the golden wreath is a blunted Moorish boarding sword, symbol of leadership carried by the great Moorish leaders of the 8th century. The 8th century. All this illustrates what I always tell y'all. Your lineage and heritage does not start on the plantation, which is why even in the Black heritage flag, it has symbols that goes past the plantation, like to the 8th century, like talking about an ancient African fig.
Never seen him use the flag, unless y'all have. I don't really see a lot of his videos, but like some of his viral videos, I never seen him rep the Black American flag like that.
Most of my audience don't know who FBA is, and the other people that know who FBA is also don't like y'all and disagree with y'all. So the way y'all be trying to monopolize the Black identity and make it like, well, if you Black, you gotta be FBA and you gotta agree with us, it's tomfoolery. You have dope and dog food, put it down. All this happening because as a result of me being in the Monaleo video, I wanted to help promote it because, you know, supporting Black women is real. Even in the video, she stitched flags from across the diaspora, and these folks still want to make these horrible claims about he said we can't delineate. That flag is only about us. I'd rather push conspiracy theories than give this Black woman credit for dropping a dope song. Oh, I should have known they was pushing it because all of a sudden now the Soulaan flag and all this everywhere, it's performative. You're kind. Y'all follow King Griff Con Man Tariq Nasheed talking about somebody a con.
That lets me know that his Democratic talking points is not working. People.
Is that enough?
That's
or do
enough.
y'all want some more?
That's enough. Hey,
I guess you sent this in also, so I guess it makes sense for me to play it or
that's
show some
exactly
of
who
this.
we were talking about.
This would be. I smell a con coming. This would be Tariq Nasheed. These are responses from the FBA guys. You ain't even FBA, boy. Sit your PlayStation 5 touchpad forehead ass down somewhere. I smell we don't say that word on here no more. That's probably representing black people with facts and never stood behind a cult, stuporic, never sheed. I don't know, whatever. Johnny, I'm gonna let you read the rest of these ones. We're gonna click some more.
Too busy being attention seeking to research the etymology of this term. Consciously done hopped on we was indigenous. I don't know what that means.
That's the flag, mean the feather.
Feather.
That's what the indigenous, like the black indigenous, they throw the feather up.
Oh.
that's their identity mark.
Shit. Okay.
We forgot to say that black indigenous too when we was naming them all.
Okay, okay, the indigenous train.
Yeah.
Stupid class chasing ass.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the time Democratic influencers like yourself and others tried to change the meaning of not like us in real time. Nobody is fooled. Leave vote blue no matter what. Sure. It's not my business, but this guy built his whole persona on gender wars and immigration over black politics. But look at him being performative.
He must think that's a Pan-African flag. Tethers don't stand on anything. It's why their homelands fail badly.
That sounds like somebody I know right there. That sounds like somebody I know right there.
Now the Hoteps finna start picking and choosing when they want to claim their heritage. This coon ass flip flopping grifter biatch.
God
damn. What does it say? The real Monaleo, please reach out to the Soulaan creator, Soul Child, and Marco Soulaan so that they can confirm. Oh, they're doing the lineage check. Oh no! Oh no! And but look, what's at the top left? That American flag.
Oh shit! USA.
Yeah.
They got
Send out to the lineage check. Yeah. I'll let you read this one.
I just don't see how a person could be organically involved with the movement surrounding the revival of this flag and not know that this is a super lame and the flag has nothing to do with Pan-Africanism. Y'all gonna sacrifice your distinction to be a panty tread?
Maybe that's how they disrespect the Pan-Africans. They call them panties.
A panty trend? Oh, that's kind of rude, y'all. Yeah, come on, FBA.
He was wild. Hey, we're gonna drop the calling link soon.
What up, A Black?
Let's see. We can start up. Here we go. I can make it bigger. We're gonna read some of the comments.
Shout out to African Unity. I got it.
Okay.
It's an African American. It acknowledges both continents. Mm-hmm. It may sound bad for me saying this, but tell everyone. It may sound bad for me saying this, but I tell everyone. God, dog, keep on.
My bad. I try to make it bigger for you, Johnny.
But I tell everyone, even though we are not Africans, our ancestors came from there. Africans just don't accept us because we're not part of their tribes.
Okay.
You don't have to identify as African. It just elaborates that where most of our that's where most of our ancestors.
Hey, that's a dangerous talking point to have around the FBAs because the Black indigenous and the I guess I'm learning that there's also there's a new faction that's been created. Shout out to the homie Trey. He was the first one to put me on this, and I didn't know this, but there is a growing faction of people that look at America as the real Africa, and that all life started here in America. And I think that there's like a version of like the Grand Canyon conspiracy that aligns with this as well. But they said all life started in America, not Africa, and it's just a trick.
They're super nationalists.
I don't know about that.
Super nationalists.
Yeah, listen, I'm just telling you, like the growth of like the different versions of origin stories. All of them don't believe that it's Africa, and the Black indigenous also don't. But there's like a new part of the Black indigenous that say America is the real Africa, and they just like been trying to psyop us the whole time.
Okay, see, that's a whole other thing that we're gonna have to go into on that one. I find that super interesting. But can we kind of elaborate on like what the Black indigenous is? Like what does that mean?
Oh no.
Tell them, Q. Tell him.
Dude,
We have learned.
Okay.
Like the triangle slave trade and things like that.
yeah. All right. So,
Black indigenous, like, do they
the
have
black indigenous say that black Americans didn't come over on slave ships. They were already here.
What?
And that it was like we were the real natives to the land. And I don't know. Some of them say that half of the black Americans came from Africa, and then the other half was already black people that were here, and then they mixed in together, and that's what made black Americans. Then some of them say that all black Americans originated here on this land, and like the slave stuff was like a psyop.
Were they doing psyops in like what, the 1700s, 1600s? Do they have technology to do psyops?
I'm just telling you what they said. You asked what this, like, what their take is.
Huh.
We don't believe it, Quinn.
Speak for yourself, John. No, let me stop. Listen, if Tone and Rail were here, they both do believe this. So like they're black indigenous boys.
They screamed at me for 2 hours straight one week.
Yeah. Listen,
What evidence is there? Because I mean, like, okay, like another thing with
when you say evidence to them, they don't believe that word.
oh geez,
Yeah, they think that everything that's like
You
published
can't believe what's in the museum.
or like what people have published, any scholarly articles. I think that their burden of proof, if I'm not wrong,
But if they have a family
is
picture, though.
well that too. But I think if I'm not mistaken, and we're gonna drop the call in. I'm sure that some of the guys they can correct me in different things, but typically their burden of proof is they think that all black people came from America because of there's some pictures that was drawn in like the 1500s that painted some of the natives as having a darker complexion.
Okay, and so I guess like with that, because like that's what was getting me is like when we talk about black indigenous.
Trey, like ask this next question to Trey. He's a believer of this, so he can give you all of his books and stuff.
I guess like when it comes to like I'm just trying to get my head over this. Like there's been black people all over the world. I get that, but like you're not gonna tell me that like when they landed on Plymouth Rock, there were black people out in like New Mexico State, just out there just doing what black people do. You know what I'm saying?
To them, that is the belief of that they have. Yes.
Make sure I'm here when Rail gets back. Like I found this kind of like very interesting.
Call Trey tonight.
This isn't like
you go straight to the tap.
Yeah.
One thing about black indigenous,
and again, shout out to Trey. We're bringing up Trey because of these two guys grew up with Trey. I think that they all lived together at a point in time. The Rock Hill Boys, like they're really a gang. So like these like Trey's the missing part of the gang. But damn, y'all should have invited Trey today. It'd have been great for me just to be here with all three of the 831 gang. But nonetheless, I'm a matter of fact, if y'all are on the YouTube right now, the call-in is in the description, but I'll also drop the link right now. But now let's get into, we did play the video. We got some commentary. Sexy Soulaan. Is this a representation of like FBA culture, black, specifically American? Is there some Pan-African black unity, diaspora connecting themes that she's running with? What do y'all think?
I mean, I definitely think she's going for the Pan-Africanism. So I mean, you saw the flag in the background. Like, I mean, she had all the flags back there. So I think she is representing a want or a need or something to, want to connect with her Pan-African roots or have that. But I also think she's putting FBA in the forefront because she did have that flag on her body and she was standing in front. So I think that's kind of what FBA's leaning on as far as like there is a putting it in the forefront. But I don't think like where there's this kind of divide. I think she's trying to unite the two. Where like,
and what's interesting is that like I asked this multiple times. I was like, well, can you be Pan-African and embrace being a Black American? Can you be FBA and also Pan-African? Can you be like ADOS and also Pan-African? Or is it like exclusionary? And this goes now to our title, Black Nationalist and Pan-Africanism or versus Pan-Africanism. Is it necessary that it has to be a versus? Or can they work in concert? Or is it like, again, mutually exclusive ideas? Q, I'll toss back that first original question.
I guess like when it comes to that concept, I guess when I think about it, for what I've always understood about like, let's say, people that are Nigerians or Ghanaian or anything like that, their culture, especially like let's think about their parents, they have a very specific view on actually what Black Americans are. Does that make sense? And so I've learned that growing up, and even my mom would tell me about this, is that there's been some type of stereotype that, let's say for like better word, like foreign Africans, when they come here, they like to disassociate from us as the African Americans. So now when I went to college, shout out to the Gamecocks, and I met like a whole bunch of more African people, like I feel as though because we were younger, we were more in line to where we still kind of see ourselves as Black. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, it seems like more times than not, first generation Africans are like meh, but then the second and third generation, they pretty much identify as Black.
Yeah, they're more ingrained. I think that's
what
you're saying. So, I guess
unless they I think that northeastern Africa area is its own unique. Like the ones that have a lot of Egypt, Eritrea, like a lot of them, the ones that have Sudan. Egypt, Sudan, and not the dark skinned Sudan, but the other Sudan,
East Sudan.
Yeah, like I think that they have their own different things because phenotypically they are still like so different looking than blacks. But yeah,
no, I think that was like the main point of it. So now
what did you take from her messaging in that video? Did you look at that as like isolationary or supportive of the diaspora? Isolationary as in like isolating just Black Americans, or was it also supporting of Black unity across the board?
I guess like there was a little bit of confusion on my part, and that was going to lead me to ask a question. Like, has anyone asked her what was her whole like artistic idea behind this whole thing? Like, she has a purpose. She can explain this video. I guess like from what I see it as, it's just like. And like it just kind of made me think she was like, you can't say the N-word or thing like this if you're not really like one of us. So I was just like, that word, it really means like FBAs. If you can like trace your lineage to like being on a plantation or coming up from the slave trade, you're what that word represents. So is she saying that Africans can't say that because their culture is different? So I guess I had like a little bit of confusion overall. Like I wasn't sure if she was saying
it seemed like a lot of mixed messaging. Exactly. I could definitely. I think primarily it was mixed messaging.
Yeah.
And I wonder if I give a little bit of my opinion, I think that I doubt she's like hyper educated on like these very specific nuances of like the conversations we have within like the diaspora and the Black identity in like these different sects, in which I imagine she probably has like a very general thought. And this is why like she'll say like, don't say the N-word, and if you're not Black, and Black American Prince says with the Soulaan thing and all that, but also tie into like a lot of the Pan-Africanist themes. She would invite a self-proclaimed maybe one of the louder Pan-Africans in consciously. Like she would, like she would play into both sides of it, whether it's like super intentional, and if so, I think it would seem that she would have to be like some version of FBA. And or maybe I guess she say Soulaan, so I guess she identifies as Soulaan, but Soulaan and have like some favor to Pan-Africanism as well, or I guess the guys want to say B1 now, but so all the same.
Like, has there been like any time?
Back in, we about to get to. My bad, I said the wrong thing again. Backstage, we gonna get to y'all. 1 second, I see you in the back.
Like I think it's important to where like John knows about me. Like I'm the biggest Kanye West fan in the world, and I remember like having to defend him on Yeezus. The point of the matter I'm getting to is like you have to actually look at like the artists and what their message is intending. Has anyone actually like has there been any type of interview where she kind of like defends like this is what I did?
I don't know if she's came out with anything.
Yeah, I haven't seen her say nothing about it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen nothing to say.
Only person I've heard talk about it was the guy that was on set. That was consciously. All right, so we about to start pulling up some of the call-ins. So right here we have. We about to start pulling up some. We do need you to mute the background. We can get that echo. So Kato, come on. We do need you to mute the.
Yo.
Kato.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
What's up, guy?
What's good, y'all? How y'all doing?
Chilling,
good,
man,
good,
chilling.
good. What's the word?
That's what's up. Thank you guys for making this space.
Yes, sir. What's your thoughts?
I just wanted to clear up like some of the confusion about the word salon because I've been in the community for 2 years. The oldest video I could find on it was a TikTok from a man named T Roy,
Okay.
and it seems like he might have created the term. Originally, it had one A in it, and it was soul plus American. But as it got more popular, people who identified as African American added another A to it, and that's when it really started popping. Because there's honestly more people on the TikTok community pushing like African American, Black American than that like Native, Aboriginal stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think somebody may have posted in the chat, but there's like a screenshot on Twitter of them talking about changing the name from African American to like autochthonous or some shit like that. It's some word that Black people
What's the
don't
word
use.
you said?
It's like autochthonous or autochthonous.
I've never heard of that term.
Neither have most Black people.
What does it mean?
It means native, aboriginal, indigenous.
Oh,
I think it would have been easier if they just said that. But I just wanted to say, like in the Black community, there's just a big divide in general. Like a lot of people are name banking, FBA, ADOS, Pan Africans, African Americans. But at the end of the day, it's all our Black history. Like you could be Pan African and pro Black American. A lot of Black Americans were at the forefront of Pan Africanism. W.E.B. Du Bois was like one of the greatest known Pan Africans. Marcus Garvey came to the U.S. to push his stuff. So, like, we can accept all spectrums of our history, but at the end of the day, we got to organize. Like, but beyond all these names and all these titles, we got to get reparations. We got to defend ourselves against this administration. Because to be honest, like, not a lot of positive things are happening for Black people, minus this belief that space is being made for us by people being kicked out. And that might be like 2% of us.
Nah, I like you cooking. Yeah, keep going. We listening.
I mean, I just wanted to make space for other people to talk. But like when I watched that video, I saw the celebration of hoodoo. A lot of classic African American traditions, Black American traditions. I don't want to necessarily elaborate what it means online, but you know, touching your shorty's pocketbook or purse on the ground, hats on the mattress. Salt behind your shoulder. These are like classic superstitions that are part of the African American system of religion.
Yeah.
And like being proud about being Soulaan isn't about putting other people down. Like Jamaicans run fast, but we run faster. So, you know, shout out to them. Shout out to the East Africans for their long distance. We got to get better at long distance, but it's okay to be proud of what you're good at. And it's okay to be proud of being Black, but I don't think it's logical to think that white people can gang up on Black people, and we need to splinter to defeat that. I just don't think
that's a word was said there, brother. Listen, I rock. Shout out to Kato. We're gonna take you to the backstage. If we got time, we'll bring up everybody. But Unc has called in. I'm gonna bring up Unc. Appreciate the words. Yeah. Fire takes.
Now turn the camera back on, Unc. I saw you.
We saw you, Unc. But now, what's going on, Unc? Talk to us.
What up, Unc?
Unc,
Johnny,
you breaking
I
up?
love you. I love you when people fuck you. Can you talk to
Oh,
me
damn.
now?
What I
Talking
do?
to me.
Oh. I was gonna say, damn, what I do? What's going on, Unc? You sound like you're breaking up a little bit.
No. Yeah, I probably was. You know, I had bad technology and cheap equipment. That's me.
Oh,
I can hear you, though.
yeah, we can hear you now. Talk to
But
us.
anyway, Little Shorts don't know what the hell he talking about. Little Shorts love white women like the way his boy Trey do. And he goddamn, that's just, his perspective on everything. I don't know his name. I apologize calling you Little Shorts. What's your name, brother?
That's Quinn.
Who, me? I'm in the white shirt.
Quinn.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
He said little short.
Little Short. Little Short.
Sure. All right, what's going on? Like, what's up?
All right. No, I'm just saying, you got a perspective that is really on I grew up around white people. White people treated me good, and that's the way it is. It's cool. Stay there, please, because you need to be there, and we need you. We need people like you that wear little shorts and big white shirts and know what white people think. You know what I'm saying? So
You
we
can address
need
like a point that he actually said. Like, like come on. All right,
okay.
all right.
What I'm saying, I apologize. I apologize for being rude. That was very rude of me. What I am saying is that we need
Okay.
brothers like you.
He said, "Get him." He started roasting. What the? All right, cool. Give us some takes that you disagree with them, and then we can kind of talk through it.
Um, I think that he agrees with a lot of things that has to do with white people on their behalf of thinking like we are there to do the correct thing for them and with them. That's all I hear out of his mouth. No matter what he says, no
Is
matter
that
what, that's what it seems like. Saying.
is that your take?
No, that's not my take. That's the opposite of my take.
Yeah, that's what I said. From what the conversations I've had with him,
anything about that.
I don't think that he's really for that specific.
No, I never said anything
Okay,
like that.
can you get all right? Now we always do time. Give me 30 seconds of your true take on everything that happened. Like even with this ratchet woman and all this stuff. Is that a good thing, bad thing, whatever? Just give me 30 seconds of that.
So, okay, about 30 seconds of it. Where I stand at is, number one, I think there's a lot of confusion behind it. Now, I noticed with her having like all the different like African flags in the background, and she's saying we're above them, but she also had like the African American flag in the forefront. Now, she was saying things about it's okay to love your identity, your culture, your big nose, lips, all that. And I completely 100% agree with that because that's what my mama was too and taught me about that. So I agree with all that stuff. And we have to love ourselves in this country that has never traditionally loved black people. You know what I'm saying? Like I will tell you, like when people were saying we should vote for Trump and there were black people saying that, I was like, how would you vote for Trump when he called us sons of bitches for kneeling? You know what I'm saying? So this whole like, like being great for the white man and this like that was never what I was about. Matter of fact, I had a conversation with a friend about how Trump's trying to arrest people for burning the flag, and we've always had that right. Someone else was saying we should not burn the flag because it looks too aggressive. Like that's my right to do so. So to answer your question about the video, I think there are some mixed messages, but I think overall she's saying to be black and love yourself, which I completely agree with. My only thing is like, okay, you're also hard ostracizing other people when you say the ill and stuff like that. Maybe that's a little bit step too far being aggressive, but the overall message of loving yourself as a black person, absolutely.
All right, can I come back with a rebuttal now on his whole thing?
We're free. Okay. We're free black men like Antonio Brown.
Yeah, we listen.
No, I'm not. All right, this is what I have to say. Men like him grew up in households, and he probably grew up. Was your father in your household? First question. Was he there?
Let's talk about the ideas, like what he's saying.
No, because this all has to do with what I'm asking him.
Yeah, you got to attack his ideas.
It's not ad hominem. What it is that if what I'm asking, if it does not depict him, then I have another rebuttal. That's why I asked him the question.
So you're basically trying to see how I came to certain angles by asking about how I grew up. So
no, I didn't see where your angles. I asked you a question, yes or no. Just answer the question.
All right, the question is like, no, my dad wasn't there. My dad was a Rick James, man. He was out in the streets.
Okay, there you go. Now, this is what happens when you grow up in a household that is grown by women that raises a male to become and think that women should be empowered to do exactly what a man does. And as me being a man and knowing what men do, we are some of the dumbest creatures and ignorant fuckers that ever could walk the earth. We do certain things, but yet women want to do the ignorant shit that men do. And especially coming from you, you probably grew up with a woman that was very
again.
No.
Are you mad at Monaleo?
Yeah, like
you sound like you mad at the girl.
Yeah, like he nothing he said dealt with any of that either.
Yeah,
right now you have to address something that he's saying. Like you keep kind of attacking
all right,
him.
What I'm saying is this right here. The woman, she grew up. All right. She grew up around people, and she's ratchet. And she grew up and saying that she can get a man set up and all this stuff. Why? Why would you say that? The things that I'm saying is you guys did not let me finish what I. Okay, you can cut me off again. All right, fine. Cut me off.
Uh,
Cut me off.
listen,
It's fine. Cut me off. No, cut me off. It's fine. I got you. You don't want to hear me right now. That's what's going on. You don't want to hear what I'm saying. I'm fine. I'm
go ahead.
wrong. I am completely wrong. I'm completely wrong in everything that I'm saying. I am.
No, all right.
I
So,
apologize. I apologize.
as we continue the conversation, what I was asking is that I didn't know that she said that. To be honest, like it's very minimal of the song that I actually pay attention to and listen to.
If you
Most,
listen to the first 15 bars,
but
the first 12 bars she put on the song, she said something about that. So how are you going to put a whole thing on your platform
all right,
but not
so
listen to what she's saying?
because of the conversation around the song, and this is where like maybe you just have like a very different POV. Like you're talking
No,
about.
listen to the song again. Listen to the song.
I got
That
you.
was
So
in her first 12 bars.
and let me. I got you. I'm not even saying that those aren't her thing. Her first 4 bars. The conversation around the song isn't specifically the one that you're having, in which we can have that also. But right now we're talking about the conversation around the song, which is Pan Africanism and
What is the
white
song?
nationalism. But if like
Man,
your main thing
all of
is
that, all of that.
we've addressed at all, because we haven't talked about if we like the song or what her like
The thing
what she
doesn't
like.
have to do with that. The whole thing is this right here. Whether you're talking Pan Africanism or this or that, whatever. The whole thing is that the song was ratchet. The song was, and she put symbolism in there to grasp the attention from people. All you guys are looking at what flags she had around them and whatever. No one listened to exactly what she was speaking on. And what she was speaking on was devilism. It was very devilish. It was devilish words that she put out towards the black community, from the black community, and it said rather she just put flags out to just grab attention. And you guys, rather than listen to what she was saying, you were hypnotized by the flags and bullshit that was going on with her and around her. That's what I'm speaking of. The whole thing is that this whole thing was just you guys sitting there and we're just going to grab attention towards whatever, but never listen to exactly what she was saying and things that was going on. She was wrong for all of this, and it grasped you to thinking that you're going to get attention to what she's saying. What she's not what she's saying, but just the things around her. She had all this. She could have had big naked booties around her, and y'all could have talked about that. But no, what she's saying is wrong. And that's what I was speaking on. And that's what I'm speaking on. So if I'm wrong for speaking on that, I apologize. I
Well, I'll
digress.
say that what you like, I don't think Quinn talked about that at all. Me or Johnny didn't talk about that. If you're making that point, that's cool. I can listen to the song again and see some of the things that I missed. It's just your claims towards him had nothing to do with anything that he said. He didn't ever speak about if she was ratchet or not ratchet, if the song was demonic or not demonic or anything like that. And I never had that point, and I don't think Johnny had that point either. Like you're just making a different point than anything that you're talking about. And again, like if that's your point, that's cool.
Look, I'm saying what I say is I digress on everything because you guys put a whole chapter on your show on some bullshit right now. That's the way I feel.
It just sounds
because I don't know whether
talk about
You
like
just
we
don't
don't
like
no, I don't want
that's cool, but like right now we can have that conversation. We're just
no.
talking about
This is
like,
my.
if
This
you think it's bullshit, that's cool.
Like I said, I am wrong because you guys do that. You did it about the symbolism that surround her, and that's what the whole show is about. The symbolism. It's not about her and everything that's going on. And I understand. I stand corrected. 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 This wasn't what I had nothing to do with that. Okay. All right. Love y'all guys, and I know you're about to push me to the back. Don't do that because I no ad hominems and no whatever ditties and all that shit. Love y'all.
I love y'all.
Love you, bro.
All right. Hey Black, what's going on, brother?
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
What up, hey Black?
Much.
Yeah.
What's your take?
I don't even know, like, cause when I came in, y'all was talking about one thing, then talking about I don't
Yeah,
know what you're talking about.
yeah.
So it's like,
This is based around Black nationalists and Pan Africanism. Can you be both? Can you be one or the other? What did you take away from the "Sexy Soulaan" song in general? And what the
sexy,
meaning
you said
is?
sexy salon.
Oh, what's the name? So what is it? "Sexy Soulaan." I think that's the name of the song.
Um, I don't know if I heard that song,
Oh shit! All right,
but
let's play some because I also need to listen back to
the first four bars.
see, right.
We gotta hear the first
Unc
four.
said that it was the most demonic shit ever. I got to double back and make sure that this is true. Let's go.
yeah,
Let's
let
go
me
to what's the shit say? Sexy soul. I didn't think that was the craziest thing just then. Y'all think
nah, that was like I didn't know what to expect, but I wasn't expecting that. And
I thought yeah.
I'm just hating it because she ghetto.
Okay,
I mean, I can see that, but I was like,
yeah, no,
damn,
she definitely leans into the ratchet aesthetic. I don't think she
yeah.
hit like, the first 4 bars, 8 bars is the craziest thing.
I think what he
Like
was
an
saying
incense could get
Touched
you
in the
touched or something
incense.
like that. I guess
No,
that one little reference.
Mind
she
your
said something.
business.
She said something in general about like I can still get you touched. Like
Yeah.
I can
Like
take
we
my
can replay
business.
the first 4 bars, but
Yeah, what does that do with
like
the
there's
devil?
so many. Like I feel like every rap song has that exact same message in it. Like if
Yeah,
we just like
I wasn't that.
she's saying that to white folk.
Yeah,
mad
what's
at
wrong with that? I fuck with it.
Unc said something about the devil.
I ain't hear nothing about no devil. He might need to listen
If you look at like
again.
her white dress, I was got like the pointy boobs and all that stuff, and then like she's shaking like her butt, and then she's being like aggressive, and then I don't know what he was getting to about like I think was he gonna say like were you comfortable with like her acting like a man and being so aggressive? I'm just like bro, it's like we free black people. I can't tell her what to rap about. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna tell her like hey you need to sit down and like make some vanilla pound cake for the church choir. Like you know what I'm saying? I can't tell somebody something like that.
So you don't believe black women should be in the kitchen?
If they're good at it, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
They should be wherever they want to be at, bro. I don't
That's,
get
that's,
that.
that's the whole point. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, my bad. We get into dialogue. A Black is here. Asim the Dream, aka the Mayor of Charlotte.
What's up, Black?
Talk to
Yeah,
us.
nah. That would mean I ain't hear nothing demonic as far as all the women music coming out today. I mean, that was just refreshing just to hear a different topic or a different take. You know, it just wasn't about pussy getting money, tricking, the normal shit with that aesthetic. It was kind of like she was kicking some different shit. And she had the aesthetic that'll catch the attention of the people that need to be caught, I feel like, but other than that, I feel like it was harmless. I mean, it's a good little spin on something. But like I said, she's speaking to a crowd that don't really get spoke to at their level. I feel like she's kicking that shit
That's
to that level,
so if it was the those two with the big conversation that has been around this topic, which is was she specifically shouting out FBAs, and was this a FBA song, or was this a song that embraced Black American plus like the diaspora in general? What was your take from it?
I think it can be all of that. I feel like, art is up to interpretation. And so it's like somebody looking at a painting, two people gonna see themselves in it different ways, So the nationalists might see it, the Pan Africanists might see it, the FBA, cause she shouting out everybody, cause like everybody's not real compartmentalized like that where they gotta be one thing.
Yep.
It's like a lot of people are kind of stuck on that real gang mentality, like I'm this, I die for this, I ride for this, I'm FBA, I'm Black Panther, I'm Black Muslim, I'm Black Israel, and blah blah blah. But it's like you can resonate with a lot of different factions and still be, your own person and still be for the greater good and the greater cause, which is the advancement of Black people or people of African descent or people of color in America or whatever terms people want to put on it. It's the same goal. But to be in 2025 and it's still tweets and arguments tearing each other down about what we identify as, when niggas is making major power moves in the world on the world scale, and we still arguing about I got a black feather, I'm black and did. Who gives a fuck? Like, what does that change as far as our current conditions?
Mhm.
Oh well, when everybody know that we indigenous, then it's gonna change the mind. Like nigga, nah. Yeah, black people have been here before, but that was like thousands of years ago. We were here. Like, so you test us, or it's West African. You test the Native Americans in the reservation. It's South Asian. They not even registering African and stuff. So it's like we was here a long time ago. But what you're claiming is very, very minuscule people who are indigenous or anything other than from the West African slave trade. The majority of us come from the Charleston port, the New Orleans port, are from the Caribbeans up through America.
But hey,
And
Black, what they're gonna say. They're gonna say that they don't believe in DNA tests and those
you
DNA
ain't gotta you
lies.
ain't gotta
They're
believe
gonna,
it,
they're
me.
gonna say
And
that
that's what I'm saying. People,
the Charleston port, all the documentation is doctored as well. That's what they're gonna say. That's all I'm saying.
people pick and choose when they want to use facts and stuff.
Mhm.
Like when the facts lean in their favor, them niggas is rallying it off. But when you got facts, it's like, oh, it was doctor. Oh, this is that. Well,
Mhm.
nah, everybody's family lineage just wasn't cut off. So some people have oral tradition history that was passed down through their family that told them where they came from.
Mhm.
Like the majority of us, yeah, we got lost along the way. We're separated, but there were few people in isolated communities in the Americas that was never separated that passed down where they came from and who they are. So it don't have to be none of this like, oh, they smudged information. Like, bruh, we came from Africa. Were we here before? Yeah, but before we came from Africa, like it's been thousands of years since people came across the land bridge in Alaska. Like that shit is thousands of years ago. The heads found in South America still predate the slave trade. So you don't come from them, that group of Africans. You came from the group more than likely that came from the slave trade, and that's all right. But it's like people got this like self-hate identity crisis, and we want to be everything but that. We want to be Moors. We want to be fucking sovereign citizen. All these different names people make up that don't really haven't really progressed us in our conditions in America by having like fancy new identifiers. Like we know what we are based on how we're treated, and it's like it's time to start like who cares about all these separations and shit? Cause it's not doing that. We've been talking about FBA for a year. What's the
Mhm.
biggest positive thing we've heard come from the FBA community?
Johnny, I'm gonna toss that one to you. You're pretty close to a FBA legend, I guess.
A
What
legend? Nah, they don't. Nah, hold up. Nah,
like you were part of like one of the main lieutenants and
hey,
sergeants.
nah, hold on, man.
You know the homie.
Don't put. Nah, I don't know. I'm not a
FBA
warrior.
Trey is the homie.
I retired from warrior
Like
class. So
no, I get
I
that,
ain't a
but I'm just
lieutenant, a
saying like
captain,
you
a
would know
sergeant.
if there's been some headway that's been made because you're in constant contact with Lieutenant Sergeant FBA Trey.
Uh, I'm gonna have to get back to y'all on that one.
Okay.
And I don't even say that as a diss, but just to say it's like we've been doing like a lot of talking and bickering, and it's like, bro, you want to be FBA, you want to be Black Panther, you want to be from fucking Wakanda, whatever. What we gonna do together to change our conditions? Because
Mm-hmm.
going back and forth is not it.
Mm-hmm.
And like
I
this pseudo knowledge battles, and now niggas is on consciously, and he a lame ass dude. He's still a black man. Why we can't agree and disagree positively? It's like if a nigga's light shines bright, he gets influenced. We gotta take him down because we don't want him to shine. It's like
Like, I'm sorry, like for what he's saying too. And I think that's for any argument. First, when it comes to like the whole information, how people pick and choose what they want. That's why I told y'all that whole fighter thing when that was going around. People would like, I don't have to like listen to information. So that's where all this come from in my head. But what you're saying, brother, is like when we were talking to FBA trade, I had to ask him, okay, you've got all these ideas about FBA. What's the end goal? What do you want? And I feel as though once you ask someone what your end goal is, a lot of them just like will be silent for a minute, and then I'll try to like fundamentally be like, okay, what is the end goal? What do I want? And then you'll be surprised about what the answer is. And be like, bro, you can get that from like a box of Lucky Charms. You know what I'm saying? Like this is it. Like this is what you want. Like,
well, I think
God.
the issue is that like when you ask them what is the end goal, and then you realize they hadn't thought about that.
they know more. They know more of what they don't want than what they do. They know they don't want immigrants. They know they don't want Africans and Caribbeans taken. They know a lot about what they don't want, but they have no actual goals of what they want for themselves. Because it's like it's just a way to project on others. At the end of the
But
day,
they know how they know they want reparations, but
they're not getting reparations.
if you
We know
actually
that.
how they're going to get it, that ends up being like its own different thing.
Exactly. I went through that with FBA trade about reparations. I was like, okay, what's the goal? Like, what's the timeline? How do you go back and trace who's FBA and who's not? How much do we get paid? Like, what's the rollout process? Like, this actual semantics of it. And when I asked our friend this question, he was like, when I asked him, like, what's your end goal? I want DEI back, but I want DEI back for only black people, like not Caribbeans and stuff like that. I was like, that's it, bro? Like, you just want DEI back just for solely black people? I was like, there has to be a bigger picture. But I think what we've been talking about is we've got all these subgroups, and it goes back into the overall thing of nationalism. We've got all these sub compartments, and with where we are now in this information age, everyone has so much pride about I'm right, this group isn't right, I'm tired of being marginalized, we haven't been listened to, y'all need to listen to us. And I feel as though everyone wants to be right, and no one knows nor how to what do you say, like kind of get together or compromise. No one knows how to compromise. Everyone wants to be right, and like I feel as though we're just stuck in traffic gridlock.
This is fair. A Black, give us your closing words. Talk to us, brother.
Yeah, man. Like I say in closing, I feel like our conversations just have to start evolving and growing. Like it's been too much infighting and misidentifying and identifying, like, and just focus on the wrong things while the world is still spinning and the players are still making moves, and that we don't got no say and no ownership in. It's because we don't have no focus. Like, if we don't have no money or no ownership, the only thing we can have is like complete focus on things. And like, we very distracted, right now. And it's like, I don't want to fight with no FBA dudes. Like, the shit be funny sometimes, just comedic. But at the end of the day, it's like, the shit's getting old. Like, we all in the same boat.
How many times do you want to have the exact same argument?
Yeah, it's like you at this point you got something else internal going on, because it's you in a false reality of what's really happening, and you got the wrong enemies. It ain't no Caribbean niggas, ain't no African niggas. Like, it's definitely not them. They're a very minute part of anything happening right now in America.
Nah, I dig it. We appreciate the call in, brother.
Appreciate
No
you,
doubt, man. I'll be listening.
Yes, sir. All right, fellas. I guess. Damn,
we know who's not gonna be an FBA legend after today's show.
You.
Not him.
Oh man, you gonna get a fun call. Listen, them Rock Hill boys, y'all thick as thieves. Like y'all stick together, but y'all be having some different opinions, and I love just stirring the pot.
You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no grown man gonna tell me I'm smarter than you. You know what I'm saying? Like what that make me look like?
Oh,
Let me tell you something right now, man. My biggest thing is like, look, you can have all your opinions at the end of the day, as long as you're not being condescending, you're not being violent. You know what I'm saying? You can be as stupid as you want to. You know what I'm saying? But when you tell me you need to think like me and I'm a whole grown man, please. What are we really talking about?
Oh,
damn.
You know it sounded like somebody told you wasn't on code.
I don't know if that's what Unc was trying to tell me or not.
You talking about Unc.
He's talking about the conversation from earlier this week.
So I mean, all I'm trying to say is
yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah. Okay. All right. So nonetheless, you've been here multiple times.
Time for you to catch one.
Yeah, you can catch your L too. We're gonna hop into this friendly game of rock, paper, scissors to hop into these memes really quickly. Fellas, you ready?
I'll stay ready.
Get your ass up in there.
You out, Johnny?
Yeah.
Damn it. Unlucky man.
God damn it.
See?
All right, so you shout out to him. First game, man, he batting 100 right now. That's crazy.
Like, didn't I win the rock paper scissors last week? We were over here.
Damn, he did. That was BTA. He beat your ass twice. Johnny was talking big shit in the front room about how he always wins rock paper scissors. And then his homie said,
"Hey, hold on, wait. We're supposed to get memes." Like,
oh, Johnny don't win. He'll win his L's exploited. Give us the order.
Rick used to do up the four, like for the four horsemen.
Yeah,
I ain't got that four right now. Panthers got a W today. I got my win today too.
There you go. All right, memes. Who do you got?
I think I sent it to the To Be Fair Show group. I think there's like two of them. Like I said, we ain't got it on super.
Okay, but then we also need you to give what order do you want us to go in?
Let's go down to like go down It was like the white dude with
This
the glasses.
guy?
Yeah. it was
Okay.
white.
Jesus wouldn't be a Democrat. I agree. He would be a Republican. I disagree. How could you even?
All right, let's start this. Make sure the chat can see.
Don't worry, chat. We got you. I want y'all to be on the right side of history with me.
Make it full screen.
Yeah.
Even say that? Jesus wouldn't fit into any political party. He's always going to be more radical than we're ready for. Come on, it wouldn't be that hard to take what he did. Jesus wouldn't be a Democrat. I agree. He would be a Republican. I disagree. How could you even say that? Jesus wouldn't fit into any political party. He's always going to be more radical than we're ready for. Come on, it wouldn't be that hard to take what he did on earth and see what political party he would align with. Fine, it's silly, it's totally speculative, and you're not going to like it. No way, I love Jesus. First, Jesus healed a ton of people and never charged anything and sent his disciples out to do the same. So in modern times, he would probably be in favor of free healthcare. Fine. Second, Jesus fed a lot of people, again, for free. So he might be in favor of something like a national program that would feed everybody no matter what. These policies would cost a lot. And thankfully, Jesus doesn't really like wealth, so he would probably be in favor of some progressive tax system where nobody gets overly wealthy. This kind of sucks. Do you want me to keep going? Fine,
Yeah,
Jesus
sound like
would be a socialist. I wouldn't say that. Jesus is going to be beyond any political construct we make. However, he is always going to want compassion for the marginalized and for us to love our enemies. Even political enemies, especially political enemies. Even the Democrats. Even the Democrats.
Damn, that was interesting.
Jesus wouldn't be a Democrat.
Commentary on that one, Quinn.
So basically, I feel as though this feeds into the whole nationalism idea, and we're so compartmentalized where we're in this whole MAGA era of we want to be strong white Christians and put Christianity to the forefront. But then you're doing things like marginalizing and doing the things with ICE raids, and you want to use Jesus as a symbol, but like now I would say you're using Jesus as a disillusionment. And why you have an attachment to him, I have no clue. Like I saw a meme where it was showing Jesus Christ, like the right Jesus on the right, where he had like a fishing pole and loaf of bread. And on MAGA's Jesus, it was Jesus with like an AR-15 on his back. You know what I'm saying? And then
I like my Jesus. I like my baby Jesus with a tuxedo T-shirt.
I think
you don't know this.
I know. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or something like
yes,
that?
it was. All right.
Okay.
Johnny, listen. That's a classic.
You said what you said?
I like my baby Jesus drinking Mountain Dew. I like my baby Jesus with a tuxedo T-shirt. It says that he likes to party, but he's formal. Like like they used to run down. Like I know Talladega Nights, top to bottom. But keep going. My bad.
Well, Step Brothers is the most supreme welfare movie, but we'll say that for another time.
Okay.
But no, that's my biggest thing is that with where the world is right now, we have like a lot more conservatives in the House and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
There is always this idea of Jesus, but it's like his principles are not being used. And I'm just like, how can you say his name, but then not go behind his principles? Like where is the disconnect, or how do you feel it's okay to bring up Jesus' name and look at how you're treating people? Like that compassion is gone. Even Trump said in a speech, I like everyone except for my enemies, or blase. Are you
talking about that Charlie Kirk funeral?
Or something like that. So
well, he said, Shorty forgave the killer. And he was like, she better than me. I wish nothing but the worst on all my enemies.
And like that's
I was like, damn. He said that at the funeral. He was wild.
And like I said, that's not how it's supposed to be. So it is just like we're into all these arguments about like healthcare, lazy baby mamas, people freeloading, the fact that like Democrats were the ones that caused the government shutdown because they want to give some type of healthcare to illegal immigrants when it's against the law to do that, and that wasn't the whole point. Yeah. So I think there is this loss on really what Jesus is, and it blows my mind how people will take this mystical man that we will never get like again in our lifetime, and then kind of like put him through muddy water to make them feel comfortable. I think that's the most selfish thing you can do as a human being, which goes into that nationalism of like, if we're going to be a Christian nation, you're not doing any type of Christian principles.
Okay.
Totally right, like so that one. That's
yeah, no, I think this is hyper specific nuance. Like I said, well, like you said, Tone would love that. I guess I'm trying to think of like exactly where I could answer at. I'm not like, so clearly you are Christian, you identify as Christian, and the ideals of Christianity is something that you would probably want pushed across. All right, so are you for a separation of church and state?
Absolutely. Like that's how it needs
to be. All right,
be.
so you do want it, and you're just saying that even if we didn't do it, the ideals in which Jesus stands for aren't the ideals that the Republicans are actually and conservatives are pushing?
I would definitely
Okay.
agree with that. They're definitely not doing that. And I mean, when it comes to separation of church and state, granted, there has been historically kind of like a muddle, or people would like use religion in their own benefit, just to over empower someone. I feel as though there has to be a separation, but also
Mhm.
get back to that melting pot idea of to where, I remember there was a point in time where, grew up in the Southern house, mom couldn't necessarily communicate what Jesus was, or she couldn't answer the questions I had, let's say that.
Mhm.
And so I know there's a point in time, like when I was super young, I was atheist, you know what I mean? And there are like a lot of black atheists out there. There's a whole bunch of different religions out there. So there has to be a separation of church and state. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay, I dig it.
No, that's what the country was founded on. They came over
Yeah,
here.
I would like to say that every point that he just made was a point that I made on Wednesday. I'm not saying that I'm Jesus or I'm Jesus-like at all. But
That's what it sounds like you
But
saying,
what I
basically.
am
That's
saying is that
basically
Johnny disagreed with
what
all
would
of them.
WWQD?
All I'm saying is
What
Johnny
would you do?
disagreed with all of them. Johnny wouldn't give up none of his money to help Americans,
We know
black
why Jesus,
people.
Hold on, time
Johnny
out.
wouldn't give up
You know
none of
why
his money to
Jesus-
say
you know why
to
Jesus was giving
feed
up the
people.
fishes?
Huh?
You know why Jesus was feeding people?
What?
Because he could make the food.
Because he could make the food.
He took 3 pieces of fish and 5 loaves of bread and fed all them people.
Now you like you can just he just talked about taxation and Jesus being for higher taxation. He he ran down everything that you was against. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Jesus is not for this whole corporations are ruling everything.
Yeah, Johnny,
I'm a capitalist.
He a capitalist. I don't think Jesus was a capitalist at all.
God bless it.
I'm not changing my mind. Like I'm not,
Has Johnny told you about his views on the black church?
We've talked about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he know.
Okay.
He know.
I just wanted to see if I could open a can of worms. All right, if it's not, all right, cool. We'll keep moving. All right, let us know your next one.
I think it was sent to the group, maybe. I think it was like at the top, maybe.
Let's go off.
I gotta send it to John.
This it?
Yes.
Okay.
That video, hopefully, I hope the whole thing plays.
Okay. All right.
Wild times we live in. I think what was it? It was like
this is Black British YouTuber Nico Omanlani went undercover at the United Kingdom March disguised as a white man, secretly recording conversations. In the footage, one woman admitted to hating black people, and even claimed she carries blades and would use against them. Oh, this is inside Europe where they don't have guns. Okay.
Listen, guys, I just want to come out and say something, yeah? Don't judge me for this.
We're not going to judge people, mate. We don't judge people.
You don't judge people?
No, don't give a fuck. I'm Geordie, man.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't like black people.
Nor do I.
So we're on the same page.
Fucking right. Black people are fucking...
I know what
we don't need them.
All right, can we get a picture, all of us together?
Hold on. We're going to let it keep playing. I see what's going on here. Q trying to start the race war.
No. That's not necessarily. I'm not trying to start that.
That's a great pick. But listen, guys.
Don't like black side, you know what I mean? Fuck them all, get them out of the country.
Oh, well, yeah, fair. Where's
this is a white country, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Christian country.
Oh, yeah.
We don't need blacks. We don't need fucking Islam. We don't need fucking.
Yes, we don't need the blacks.
Jamaicans. We don't need no one like that.
Rastafari,
I think the great.
What would you do if you saw a black right now?
Do you know where I've got my bag?
What would you do?
I've got 3 knives in my bag. I've got a fucking blade.
You've got 3 knives in your bag, and you listen, guys. I just want to come out and say something. Yeah, don't judge me for this.
We're not going to judge people, mate. We don't judge.
You don't. You'd use them on the black if you saw one.
I would.
Oh, mental. That's crazy.
No, I think it's fuck me.
Good. I'm glad you do that.
Do you want to see them?
No. We'll be fine. Actually, yeah, we'll be good.
I put one in the cement box for a Chinese blade that fucking do your artery. And I couldn't give a fuck.
Oh, crazy. Well, I think that's a great way for us to just say, like, who's straights?
Oh, street.
Who's straights?
Oh, street.
Distraction tactics.
What's that phrase mean?
our streets, I guess it means is like we're taking back like what's ours.
He said, "Who's straight?"
No, who's streets? I think.
Oh, whose streets? Our streets.
I thought it said who's straight.
Okay. All right, so I guess Q, Rock Hill's own. I will give y'all a preference that I recently have been chastised in the Discord by another Rock Hill brother. Again, y'all said y'all like what is it? White meat, dark meat, all meat,
whole chicken.
For critiquing white women in their place in feminism by y'all fellow brother from Rock Hill. But it seems like you have some criticism of, is that a white UK woman?
Yeah, it is. So this is where I was going with this whole idea. And I'm going to tie it back to nationalism. Growing up in my native church, my original pastor, he was Larry Robertson, who was married to Carmen. He met Carmen in the Navy when he was over there in the London, England, and Carmen's a black woman. So she actually had the accent. She would talk like, "Yeah, what are you children doing like right now? Did you guys actually pay attention to church? What did you like from church today?" Like she actually had the accent. She was a real British woman.
Did y'all go to the same church?
No, we did not.
Okay.
So when I saw this video, when I was thinking about nationalism, where we are at the country, and then these stereotypes of us as African Americans, my thing, and I'll point out a couple of things that she said in here, it was the fact that for some reason we're all treated the same in all different countries. Black people all kind of
and treated. You're talking about like the Andre 3000 shirt. Why are dark people everywhere treated badly?
Okay, stay with that concept. And so when I was thinking more about this, and I understand I'm biased because I'm thinking about my preacher's wife, where I was confused on this is like, why did she feel that way against the blacks there, and the black people there aren't doing the same thing as black people over here? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like what
yeah, but do you think that race, like, do you think ingrained racism is based on truth of like actions?
Elaborate on that. Are you meaning
all right, so for example, racism here in America, one might say, like, you run down like a bunch of these tropes that explicitly paint all black people in a negative light.
Okay.
Are these true statements, or are these stereotypes that play into characteristics that have been ingrained through propaganda on TV, movies, XYZ, going all the way back to, what was the first film that ever was made? I forget the name of it.
Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation, right? It's not necessarily like always and specifically, usually based on real truth. And this is why even a lot of white people that grew up inside homogeneous spaces, like let's say landlocked Center of America places, when they have interactions with regular black people, they be like, "Oh damn, I never would have thought you'd been like that. Like, you're not like what they say.
You're not like the rest of them.
You're not like, like all these different little statements." And I think that now moving that away from America and going to Europe, I would just imagine that there doesn't have to be truth in racism for racism to happen, as much as like it's a justification for a superiority of a specific group. And they'll use any small example of somebody doing negative and bad and all this shit and exploit it through propaganda to paint a narrative that's beneficial for them to be racist.
And so I get what you're saying on that, where racist people have, there's a certain type of mental gymnastics they do, which is how they arrive at their points.
Yeah.
And so I guess my thing is like, when I'm thinking about this, one thing that she said that stood out was like, well, we don't need them. And that's what I was saying, like what is it that we're not doing, or why do you feel as though we should give you something very, does that make sense where I'm kind of going to? She's like, well, we don't need them. But
well, I don't think that in saying we don't need them, I don't think it has anything to do with what they're not doing, as much as, especially if you go UK, like that's really like homeland,
Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah, so like they believe in that, I'm sure, as like supposed to be white. We did thousands of years without them, and we can keep doing thousands of years, no matter what they bring over here. The multiculturalism and like
just general contributions.
I don't think that they care about it, because they feel that their identity is based in white heritage in general.
And then like I said, I understand the concepts, and like that's why when I say I was so lost by this, for lack of better words, growing up African American, you know what sometimes the negative tropes of ours. We're loud, we're lazy, we're this, we're that. We want something for free. We don't want to work for nothing.
You wear the pink updo with the grills.
Yeah, okay. And so my thing was
And the
is like
pointy
I've never heard any
Yeah,
I've never heard any
in a white
tropes of
dress.
like black English people. That's what I'm trying to understand.
Oh no, they say that they
for lack of a better word, they're really docile. And like I don't
know. I guess like the ones that I've heard,
They be
isn't it
stabbing
like
each other.
doing with like well yeah, the stabbing whole thing, but a lot of it deals like within them like organizing sex trafficking and I forget like it's something.
But a lot of them are like refugees too. A lot of them aren't necessarily.
But the stereotypes, because like this was like a big thing over there, and Elon Musk recently inside the past year had played on some of the tropes of it when he was like meddling inside America, and then he was doing like shit over in Britain, and he was pushing money over there. Where I think that some of the stereotypes deal within sex trafficking with black immigrants over there, and maybe it was like a white woman that got killed dealing within that, and Trump was putting money towards exposing this concept of how black immigrants over in Europe are ruining like or targeting white people or something like that. To my understanding, like those are the tropes that gets highlighted: the black stabbings and the sex trafficking.
So I mean, and like I said, I just found it really interesting about like I said, I've already spoke the point about like what is it stereotypically that they don't like over there, but we're still kind of universally kind of treated the same. So
yeah, no, I guess, and I agree with your point. I think that the need for this, like, to find something supersedes the need for it to be true, and that it's going to exist no matter what, because it's just a need for a reason to demonize a group.
Gotcha.
That'll be my take. All right, so I guess Johnny, you lost, so I'll go next.
It's okay, John. You're still number one to me, man.
Hey, man, can't win them all, bro. You can't win them all.
Nah, that's hilarious, actually. Yeah, Johnny, give us some banter while I try and get us where we need to be at.
I've been seeing Down B's comments.
Down B, okay, yeah. What do you say?
Look like bro down bad on that parlay. He keep on talking about Sam Darnold through an interception.
Oh, for real.
Such and such loss. I feel like he down bad on that parlay this week. Oh yeah, and shout out to the Panthers too.
All right, listen. Let me get us there. Relax, Johnny. Let me get us there. Take us to there. Shout out Kofi. We'll try to open up a call in a little bit later. You missed all the good conversation. But we're gonna let's start here, and then I'll take us to. Well, matter of fact, Kofi, you'll probably enjoy where I take us next, because we'll talk a little bit about what's happening in Memphis and some of what one might deem the new Trump era martial law that's happening. But before we get there, shout out to the Panthers.
Shout out to the Panthers, man. 2-2, baby. Or
2-3.
2-3. My bad.
I'm still a hater. They went. Didn't they go down 17-0?
They did.
I was out there I wasn't in Rock Hill. I was in Winston-Salem, Bermuda run, and you know, like some of the basketball dads, they'll give like the updates and stuff, and it's like, well, we down 17-0. I just tapped out. I just watched the boys play and cheered on.
I didn't
left out, checked it. I said, let me see how bad these boys got beat. What was it, 24-17? Did they take that boy Young out?
27-24.
27-24. It was something like that. Yeah. So they got it done. But saying all that to say, again, we are a Charlotte, a Carolina-based pod. And I just want to see if y'all give a top 5. What y'all top 5 is. This is whoever did the shits. This is their top 15 greatest Carolina Panthers of all time. Let me know if you agree, disagree. But I'm really looking for a top 5 out of y'all guys of best Panthers all time. They got Luke Kuechly, number 1. Steve Smith, number 2. Cam Newton, number 3. Julius Peppers, number 4. Thomas Davis Sr., number 5. Ryan Khalil, Greg Olson, Jordan Gross, Jake Delhomme, and Sam Mills rounding out the top 10. You got Christian McCaffrey, Muhsin Muhammad, D'Angelo Williams, Wesley Walls, and John Beeson.
Hey, hold on. Go back to the second one.
All right, I'm going to go back to the second one.
And they go, okay, I see when they left off immediately.
Who did they leave off?
Jonathan Stewart.
Okay.
No, he definitely top 15. I don't know.
Top 15.
I don't know if I call him top 5, but he definitely top 15.
Okay.
I agree with the top 3.
Top 3 is got to be Luke. You agree with the order?
I can't with the Luke on top, and I love Luke.
Yeah, I got Steve Smith up there.
Yeah,
Luke, it's 1A, 1B, but Luke first ballot Hall of Famer. Like
that's nice.
Yeah, that's great. He's a Hall of Famer. Is a Steve Smith a Hall of Famer too?
He wasn't first ballot.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah,
I think about like what Steve Smith meant for the Panthers.
Are we talking about the best? Or are we talking
the
about
great? This says the greatest.
Because,
the words say the greatest.
Steve did take us to that first Super Bowl, and he like that run that he had in that first Super Bowl. I mean,
going from punt returner to then making it into like the number one guy is undersized.
He led the league in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. Yeah. Triple crown. I give you that. Luke Kuechly was unreal. Like he was unreal at the linebacker position. Probably one of the best linebackers to
all
ever
time.
play the position.
Yeah,
Steve Smith is not one of the best receivers to play all time. Not the same way. He's one of the greatest.
But how long has he been?
I think that his impact on the team and winning, I think it rivals. It rivals, if not, it's better.
I'm not hating on Steve Smith at all. I'm just saying I put
when we went to the Super Bowl, you remember was it St. Louis that catch? I don't give a fuck. Like, tell me the memorable moment that Luke Kuechly gave us to go to the Super Bowl. You don't remember? I remember him catching that pass. It was overtime. What was it? St. Louis. He broke the tackle and he's streaking up the thing, and that took us to the Super Bowl. I remember that motherfucker. I don't remember what Luke Kuechly did.
I remember that season. I remember the man caught he caught 2 pick sixes on the back-to-back plays. Nobody like pick six. Steve Smith
during the season. Nigga, I remember Steve Smith taking a man helmet and throwing him into the ground.
Man, Luke
at 5'9".
Man, give me Luke, give me Steve.
At 5'9".
Then Cam. I will go Peppers.
Yeah, I think the top 4 is the guy.
I'll go Peppers 4 now 5.
I think that we believe in Julius Peppers more than Luke Kuechly. Fuck
it. Okay, I'm sticking with my first 4. I'm sticking.
That's
with
cool. That's cool.
5.
I just can't put Luke number 1. Like I said, we look at how long Luke was like in Charlotte. How long did he really play in Charlotte?
Like 9 years.
Was it that long? Was he?
No, he
it was 8 or 9 years.
His career is really short.
Yeah,
he was good and he left. That was pretty much it.
Because of the whole concussion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like looking back on it though now, I think what they have Christian McCaffrey at like 11 or something wild like that. Christian McCaffrey needs to be like in the top 5 because he's the only Panthers player that's ever been 99 number 1. But in the seasons where after that Super Bowl when Christian got on the team, that man was doing everything for the team. Everything. They had him at every position. Like,
no, I get it. My issue is that they didn't do anything during that time that he was there.
But also nobody else was doing anything. Like one man can't save the team. Like,
I get it, but like the top 4, they all represented the Super Bowl.
Even the top 5.
I get you on that.
And that'd be my pushback to it.
That's fair.
If I had to go 5, I put. This is gonna be tough.
Yeah, I can't even name my top 5.
I'm putting Greg Olsen 5.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not him and Wesley Walls. I can. I'm putting
Greg. And I was thinking about, but it's just been so long since Wesley Walls played. Yeah. You know another good one we had too for a little bit. Shockey.
Oh yeah, Jeremy Shockey, but that was short lived. That's when Cam first came. We had the double tight end.
Yeah, but now I'd probably go Greg 5, then Thomas 6.
Okay. Well, I ain't mad at Thomas Davis.
That'd be the only change.
I think that this is a strong 5 though.
It is a tough ass 5, and the only thing they left off in the 15 was John J. Stu not being on there. Okay, that's my only criticism of the whole 15. But
I'm not mad at it. All right, so fellas, let's get into some interesting conversations. Speaking of conscious belief,
entire country is underreacting to what Trump is doing, and that kind of what frightens me, if I'm being real. This man not only freezing $18 billion is supposed to go to like New York public transit for DEI, he's also saying he wants to train the military in Democratic-led cities because they disagree with him. And what I understand is, in most of these Democratic-ran cities, we got black and brown communities that's hotbeds for the entire city. So what he's saying is he gonna go in there, you feel me, and start to police and militarize different forces against these people and use them as target practice. Use them as fungible objects to be able to bolster American imperialism up. And it's just like, fam, what did you So DEI mean black and brown. Democrat mean black and brown. Whole time, these white folks is waging war against each other and using black people as little proxies. You feel me? I'm talking about every time they say the extreme left is blah, 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 blah.
That's such an interesting concept. Using black people as proxy wars, like intra proxy wars in America. That's very interesting.
Blah, 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 blah. They go find some random ass Mexican, some random ass black American talking about some leftists. Whole time, we don't even play them bipartisan games. If y'all went clicked up with the white supremacists and the Ku Klux Klan told us, you feel me, the Confederate flag told people, y'all probably would have more black people that vote for y'all. But instead, y'all don't, and y'all be against a whole bunch of shit that's supposed to progress black people. Now, listen, Democrats also is implicated in that, but they just better than y'all. And that's the reason why we have these issues. You feel me? The entire country is.
All right, fellas. What is y'all thoughts? Oh, my bad. Before we get into that, taking what he just said, shout out Fat Boy. Fat Boy, he was he hopped into the Discord maybe 2 days ago. And I asked him if it would be cool if I shared this. He was talking about Memphis and the impact of the guards and all of that being down there in Memphis. And he said okay, yeah, so nonetheless, he said I know y'all see it on the news everywhere, and which I told him, like, honestly, here in Charlotte, we're not really getting a lot of like what's happening in Memphis. Huh?
They requested it here.
Oh no, and that's what I told him that, and then he was running that down. I actually what he's responding to was me saying, "Damn, that's crazy." They pushing for them to come to Charlotte. City Council wrote a letter, the whole nine y'all. He said, "Yeah, shit serious. I know y'all see it on the news and everything, and everything is down here. Roman FBI, state troopers, state U.S. Marshals, the feds, undercover, and ICE, all in the same team, roaming the streets. If you got a tail light out, if you driving without tags, they pulling you over. If you driving without tags, they straight up taking your shit. If you speeding over a certain mileage, you going to jail." Then he sent me a few videos. I didn't get the chance to send them over, but they had the helicopters flying over the black neighborhoods. They had 8 a.m. They had the SWAT cars and all the cars lined up inside the black neighborhoods. It's a very, very, very interesting time at the moment. What is y'all thoughts? He said that we're underreacting. This is going on the heels of the current government shutdown, that since Trump has came out and outwardly stated that I'm meeting with the founder or the guy over project, is it 2025? And Agenda 2025. And he's going to let me know all the Democratic policies that need to get cut. That I don't know. I can go find a tweet, but I'm paraphrasing. But he's pretty much saying I'm gonna go with the guy that y'all said that I was basing my entire campaign off of, and then I lied and said I wasn't. I'm gonna go with him, and I'm gonna get him to let me know all of the policies that I need to cut because it's a government shutdown and I have more power now. And like I said, I think that is interesting, and there's this interesting space that are we so desensitized to what's actually happening that we don't realize the importance of what is happening, where like Trump is always like we have like news fatigue for Trump for everything that he does. But then the question starts to become like, damn, when is some of these things actually crossing the line in real issues? Talk to me.
Man, I've said this before with our conversation when it comes to the whole burning the American flag, and I was mad about that because like we've had that to exercise our right for whatever political passion we had, and now, well, I feel as though it's disrespectful. I want to throw you in jail, and so that's what I was saying with my whole argument with Johnny P, another one of our friends, is like it's a slippery slope now. And so now I think it goes back to what we were talking about the other week with Tone, how he was saying something with the whole Chinese personality credit or something like that.
Yeah.
We can shun you for society for just doing like the simplest of things. And y'all was kind of saying something about it, but I remember agreeing with him to where you don't know where this could lead to. And that's what I've always told everyone now is to where like he's saying that, you couldn't say this about Charlie Kirk. He wanted to make it illegal to talk about him. Like he's literally changing the core of the country from the Constitution, and he's just really running amok. And that's what I've been saying for a long time. That like I said, when he called us as black people sons of bitches for kneeling, that's when I was out. I was out a long time ago.
Oh.
Like I saw that a very long time ago. So yes, you should be alarmed. You know what I'm saying? Are
Okay.
we gonna pick up guns and like knock over trash cans? I'm not trying to cite anything like online where I got a digital footprint, but I'm just saying, like, is it gonna come to that?
Right. Listen, just don't knock over. We just took our trash out today. It's a lot.
Yeah, they do.
Don't
trash
be like
on
Friday.
Mondays.
Don't be like on Friday where the kid come over and knock over the trash cans. But I understand what you're saying, brother. Johnny.
I mean, because he's been to other cities, right? Like he's just in DC, right?
He was just in DC, yes.
The
Then he sent
people
them to Chicago.
But I'm saying, so the people that's in DC,
Yeah.
like, what have they said about, like, 'cause I know, like, I've heard, like, but I don't like when they're like a uptick in like false incarcerations, unjust arrests, or was it just the people who were already doing the crimes, who were already part of the system, just getting put back in the system? Like, I want to see, like, what was the actual effect of when it happened? Because I haven't really heard anything from DC since he was supposed to be there, but I didn't hear anybody from DC.
Well, I remember when it was happening, there was a lot of conversation around it. I don't want to give like a false sense of what happened, so I can go back and look at exactly what they said. But there was like a very mixed reaction. There were some people that were happy at the heavy what is it?
Law enforcement.
Law enforcement. There you go.
Presence or whatever.
Police presence inside, which was targeted as black areas, and then there was some people that was like they're over policing and all right. So there's a couple things. The DC iteration is also different than different iterations too, because of a big part of the DC iteration was that they were just doing like a basic show of force, but they weren't armed and they weren't arresting people yet.
Oh, so that was just them.
But not like it's progressed though.
So now this one is they're being like,
yeah, they're armed. Now they're working and like shout out Fatboy, like he's saying like pretty much they're enforcing different things now as well
than they were in the previous.
Yes.
Okay.
I think maybe the change started happening in Chicago. Maybe I can't remember exactly when what is it, Pete's Head stuff or whatever. He allowed them to be armed and then start to make their own versions of arrest and shit like that. Yeah.
I mean, I think it'll just depend on, like, to me, black people have already been over policed. So, I mean, is it going to be like a substantial uptick in?
All right, my bad. What do you? So, are you? So you're debating on if you think that him
I'm
releasing the National Guard into black neighborhoods is good or not? Like, what are you debating in your mind right now?
I'm trying to see, are we overreacting or underreacting to it? And I'm trying to base it on what has happened in the previous times where he sent the National Guard out to play. That's what I was in my head. That's what I was basing.
What is like? How far away? Like, this is pretty much the first time inside our lifetime, maybe ever in America, that we have had the National Guard employed to just enforce martial law on the public of America, especially not during a riot. Like, there's no riots happening. There's no, like, only time you've ever seen a National Guard pushed out would be if there was like an insurrection moment happening. Right now, they're just going to intentional democratic cities and they're invoking martial law. Like, I'm trying to understand how you don't see that as like an interesting aggression that one might not look at as just like, are we overreacting? Because we've never seen this in previous hitters. I've always known Americans to be against martial law.
And that's why I don't know, are we overreacting? Because we've never seen it before. So it could be just
so you think that we could be overreacting to the idea of martial law?
I'm saying, like, based on what happened to DC, like what you're saying, me, and it was just a show of force. I think a lot of the people who did was an overreaction.
All right, so let's.
If this is different, then the reaction might not be. It might not be an overreaction.
All right, so let's just go. Let's start at just DC. Do you think that there should be national outrage with a president invoking martial law on his own citizens, not during an insurrection, a riot, or like any like egregious issue happening, just to patrol the citizens of the country? Do you think on like that in itself is a over misstep, or you're cool with martial law in general?
No, I mean, no, I'm not cool with it in just any situation. No, I'm not.
So like where's the part where you think that it like you're weighing, are we overreacting if you are against in principle martial law on US citizens for no reason that's like inciting violence?
Well, because the places that he are doing it are places where there've been more violence. Like Memphis been the most dangerous city.
Well, like
so so I mean,
so you all right, so you are
it's not for no reason.
All right, so
like,
so my, no, let's just stop.
Like,
so it sounds like you're okay with him invoking
I'm
martial law
okay
in black
not.
cities.
I'm just saying if it's
in black neighborhoods.
Or not. Like versus
no, but like you just yelled and made a point. So are you saying that you're cool with so you said DC, let's just go with DC, with even though their crime rate had reduced by 50% since the new mayor had got there, he still went and invoked martial law. But you're cool with it because of the crime rate that's inside that area already exists at a higher rate in comparison to other places. You're cool with martial law, like the National Guard being placed on this group to patrol the citizens. I mean, you are okay. All right, that's interesting.
It's not the worst thing in the world. Like, I mean, dudes, should it be watched? Is it interesting? Yes, but I think there's a reason they have national and martial law for certain times. Like, and
a reason to have martial law.
But you're saying for no reason, and you're acting like
who used the word no reason?
You just said for no reason. You said you cool with the president bringing in martial law for no reason.
Okay.
No, I'm not for no reason. But if there's
you think that just
if it
the
could
crime
help,
rate,
if it could help crime, why not try it?
So you are. So
I'm not against. I'm not against.
All right, but by no reason, I'm meaning outside of what is already typically normally happening inside every developed nation, which is there's going to be crime. Like there's ebbs and flow of crime. And
are there not places that are higher crime than others?
Yeah, and for you think that we should be bringing in the U.S. military, the National Guard, to police our own citizens?
I mean, I'm not totally. Again, I'm not for every single case, but again, I think there's situations where it could work. To act like it won't never work, I think there are situations.
Whoever said that it wouldn't work, if we go into a complete martial law lockdown, of course, crime fucking end up being to zero. Sure, it should have worked like a motherfucker. Is that the America that you want to live in? Is that the America that you want to wear that nationalist flag for?
That's not the America I want.
All right, so what are we talking about?
But I didn't say I'm totally against it at any point or either too. But I think there are situations, a place like Memphis,
Memphis needs martial law, is what you're saying.
It needs more law than it has now. Does it not?
It needs more law. No, I don't think
that some of the most violent places in America don't need more policing or don't need a different.
I don't think. Yeah, I think that there can be corrections in policing. I don't think that we need the U.S. military policing its civilians daily. No, I don't think that that's the answer to the issues. I think that there's so many other answers that precede that. And a precedent of allowing, especially inside, like, and it's allowing a precedent where you're putting martial law, you're employing the National Guard on your political opponent's city as a show of force against a specific demographic. It's wild to me, and I don't understand how like you think that that's going to work out beneficial for Black people in any way. Like this shit, like I don't know, it's just like a crazy concept. But yeah,
I think crime and being tough on crime, it does have its benefits, and that's all I'm saying. Like, and I'm not saying this should go in any places, but all I'm saying is just like the Black church was advocating for harsher punishments.
What ended up happening with that, Johnny? Well, how do people talk about the crime bill in retrospect?
Again, like I say,
what the fuck are we talking about?
It didn't work out. It did not work out.
So why are you using that example of something that we're over policing? Fuck the Black community as why we should do it again.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying it didn't work that time within the. And
you think this time bringing in the military?
Has anything worked since then?
Yes, the fucking mayor of DC decreased. The mayor in Baltimore, they're decreasing crime right now. Those are two horrible cities.
What about Memphis? Where's the crime?
Bro, I don't know where it was at and where it is now. We can look and see. But clearly there's things that work that aren't bringing in the fucking military National Guard. Like we just seen it decrease by 50% in 3 years. I don't understand why you're saying like what else could ever happen.
And so hold on, like I know y'all are like going hot. Like
Oh, my bad.
I know. I just want to say with the Baltimore thing. What happened in Baltimore is like what the mayor did was he allocated some of the funds. I could be completely wrong. I'm not going to say he took funds from the police. That's going to sound completely ignorant. But he managed the funds and redirected them to where the kids had more after school programs. He gave them more food and lunches, and there were others like social things he did, and that's why the crime rate decreased in Baltimore, for example. So the overall concept is what's going on here is what Q's basically saying is. Before I answer that, I'm going to pivot to something else I want to ask you, John. Like, I thought it blew my mind that the cops here in Charlotte wanted to have the National Guard come here, and Charlotte is nowhere near like any of these other places. So I want to ask you, would you feel comfortable with the police doing raids how they are all around Charlotte when we're not even that problematic of a city, but people are saying it? I think there's a laziness where people just want brute force just for something they don't like or they don't understand how a city's dynamics works.
But my thing, hey, Quinn, would you be scared if they came here? Would you be scared if they came here?
Yes, nigga. I don't. Why the fuck would I want to be?
Would you be
under
scared?
martial?
Would you be afraid that you would get arrested?
Yes. Like I don't understand. Like why are you appealing to martial law? That's fucking crazy. And then it's like specified to black people in black neighborhoods. You know, like what is the benefit? What has over policing ever did good for black people?
And that's the way
the shit didn't even decrease crime. I don't even understand what the fuck we like. This is like such a
but
crazy.
I think, but we have seen the issues of under policing, like in some of these cities where they no bail systems and the crime in these places continue to go rampant.
It's weird. It's weird when you add social programs somehow.
Okay,
now these things start to decrease.
But it's not over policing that's doing it. It's the lack of social programs.
So
it's not over policing.
So how about this? Let's think about this. Over policing.
The police are there. It's the lack of programs.
Okay, so why are you appealing to over policing that doesn't show a record of making a difference inside crime? It just means that more people are getting arrested.
I'm overreacting to it. I'm not overreacting to it. I don't think it's necessarily right, but I'm not. Oh my God, this is the end. I don't think it's the worst thing that
like,
ever
it
happened.
just seems weird.
I'm not even advocating for. Hey, bring the police. I'm just saying I'm not going to overreact to martial law going on places where there is fucking crime.
It's such a wild. I think that's such a wild idea. It's such a wild idea.
I think there's way other things to overreact to
outside of martial law.
Trump canceling the motherfucking Jimmy Kimmel and stuff like freedom of speech. I think that's way more of something that could cause more reputable issues down the road than over policing in a city that has terrible crime. That's the only thing I'm saying.
It's so crazy. Like let's just walk through really quick, and then Q, I'm gonna throw right to you. Like what you're saying to me is like wild. Like even like the
because
idea
I'm not
that
tripping over
listen,
I'm not even advocating.
What you're saying to me is wild. Even the idea of putting Jimmy Kimmel freedom of speech cancellation higher than actual boots on the ground martial law policing in black neighborhoods is mind blowing to me. Like I don't see how you would say that Jimmy Kimmel getting canceled and freedom of speech. Like the idea of that and martial law. Imagine what they're going to enforce martial law with, if like if freedom of speech, like any of these things are getting charged. Like the end, but
that's the number one thing. They're arresting you for it.
But imagine
to losing the right.
But what will be worse than freedom of speech is like imagine somebody like the police roaming the streets. And arresting you based on let's just say
committing a crime. They're not arresting innocent people. Is that what they're saying? They're going around just rounding up people the way ICE is doing.
I think that
they're not doing it like
ICE. So according to Fat Boy in Memphis right now. So if you're going to jail for bad tags, I think that's wild. I think that's
was
wild.
Me on Labor Day. I ain't gonna lie.
I think that's wild. But again,
it happen though. Like if you get caught twice, what about if you get caught twice? Like that is something that like it's illegal.
Gotcha. And so again, all right. So just
you live in a place that
let me continue walking it. Because like I love the face you making, and I'm gonna drag in a second. But let's walk down this as an American. You're American nationalist. Like that, I imagine you love the Second Amendment, and we hate government overreach. That's what like the average patriot, like gun-toting, loving, conservative, and or liberal, like these are what American values are based on. American nationalism speaks to the idea of being completely against martial law. it's so wild that, again, like, you don't see just the basis, even if this was on like just needing that for just casual, no other reason. But even if it's
martial law is something different than having the National Guard someplace, because martial law changes the laws of a jurisdiction.
Okay.
Where,
all right, so I think
the national judge just
all right. So let's just
laws.
go with like having the National Guard enforced in the armed National Guard enforced inside black cities. So just generally speaking, the Second Amendment, patriotism, they're all against government overreach. The idea of deploying the National Guard on your United States citizens is against everything that conservatives, the right wing, and patriots in general are against. It's literal government overreach. But so now let's put that to its side. Like nationalism by itself is already against it. So now let's go to black nationalists, or like whatever the fuck you might identify as. So now we've just said that over policing doesn't decrease crime rates, but it just means more black people are getting put up. Right. We're saying that social programs actually helps it. How is this going to be beneficial for black people at all? And why is it that like it is needed? And how is it an overreaction if this is what is being done?
I'm just looking up something. I'm just looking up.
All I'm gonna say is, like, my point I want to interject while Johnny does that.
Okay.
Is I feel as though with what you're saying, Q, when it comes to like how this is done with black people, it made like news this week about how they did a sweep in like a black neighborhood in Chicago, and they did it in the middle of the night, and they were just dragging out random people. They were looking for, I guess, people that had warrants. Now, how they had the means of saying, let's go to this neighborhood, blase, at this time of night, like this is some section that we should break into or bust down. They were grabbing women in the middle of the night. They were like kids that were like literally in bed, like butt naked or getting ready for the bath. They were like National Guard men saying like, yeah, like fuck all these kids. Like we're going to have everyone in handcuffs or like the zip ties. Everyone's going to like sit down on the ground until we do our sweep. And like it lasts for like a good 3 hours. And then let everyone just go. But with how they were treating them, just grabbing American citizens, even if they live in a bad area, like how you said, John, would I be scared? Like, no, I wouldn't be scared because, like I say, I know what I do and what I don't do. But if I'm going down the road, they have a roadblock, and then they're trying to yank me out my Jeep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to have someone put their hands on me or anything like that. But I don't know how far they're going to take it, or if they're even in their right minds to even do something like that act of aggression. So to answer your question, would I be scared? No, but at the same time, I'm gonna be like on my toes. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be terrified, especially for my family. Like my family stays on the west side of Charlotte. Like I don't understand. Like my people would directly be implicated in the exact shit.
Okay, well, okay, and here's my overall point too, because we just got on.
And my bad, like
okay, I see, and like
no,
I'm
it
not
doesn't. Like it's a fucking crazy
I'm not
idea.
advocating for over.
Nigga, you just was giving me the
you said
space,
are you overreacting or not overreacting? You said are you? I'm not. But I'm not agreeing with they should be. I'm not. I'm just saying I'm not overreacting. Me personally, it doesn't affect me, and that's what I'm saying. And my thing is, when it comes down to this, we were just gonna talk. We just got on here last week and talked about how we should get rid of in the streets. We don't owe no respect for the street, and the opposite of this is. You got to have better policing. That's the problem. Like, I think the better.
Yeah, there's a difference between better policing and the National Guard patrolling black neighborhoods only. What the fuck are we talking about?
AR-15s and tanks and doing all
like what the fuck? Like, I don't understand. Like, how you don't see how that's a big jump. Better policing. Like Baltimore has shown, DC has shown you can police better.
I'm like the people he was talking about. I'm underreacting to it. I'm just not tripping that bad, bro. Like it's like okay, when they start arresting black people innocently, and then I start doing it, then cool. But if they're just there like they did in DC to show force to kind of scare people, that's not a big deal. What happened in DC? They were just out there showing force. That's not a big deal. Now, if they start arresting people, innocent people, falsely imprisoning people, then that's totally different. But they're not having any claims of that. I haven't heard that in DC.
It's such an interesting thing that, like you said it earlier, like the slippery slope thing, is that. The more power you give a person, the more they exercise it. And no pushback just means you're going to keep testing the limits. I think that rolling out National Guards against your political enemies is a crazy precedent to set. Like, why would that? And then isolating it to black neighborhoods. You know who also has really high crime rates? In trailer parks. The poor whites. It's mad crime inside these spaces. It's interesting that the National Guards never pulled out there. You know who has like a drug and crime epidemic happening? Fucking middle America white people. It's crazy they're not rolling these tanks out. But for you, it's just cool that they just roll the tanks out. They roll out the National Guard for the black spaces, and it's like, well, I'm inside a good black area to where it doesn't impact me. Why the fuck would I care? That's so elitist that it's crazy, in my opinion.
I also just was talking about like not fucking with the streets and like I say, I'm not saying it's
so
right.
so run the fucking tanks through the neighborhood. That's crazy, bro. What? I got you.
Like I said, bring the tanks. The question was overreacted. Should we just be
like? Is this not a crazy precedent as an American and then as a black person? I just gave you the appeal on both sides. You cool with it? It's just wild to me. It's against all the values that American and as a black person that I ever stand for.
I think this is gonna be like a real good deep dive for next episode. We're gonna go through all the facts and what's happening in the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Like and respectfully, because like someone talked to this about me at my job when I first went to DC, and John knows like my ex-fiance was from DC, so she was telling me stories about how she grew up as a kid. There'd be like a dead body on the playground from someone getting shot. The only thing I'm gonna say to kind of have a neutral point that one of my friends at work made was that some of the videos that I did see, some of the worst videos were like they were cleaning up like homeless camps, homeless tents, like in the middle of like a walkway. Mm-hmm. So they like got rid of like all like the home. They got rid of like a lot of the homeless because Donald Trump's idea was we're the nation's capital. We shouldn't look this filthy, for lack of a better word. And I am very paraphrasing. So some of the videos I saw were, hey, I could walk down like U Street. Or I could actually walk down the street now. People aren't like smoking blunts and blowing all that in the air. Like it's more of like a clean street, and I feel safer just walking down the street. And that was DC. Now, I'm not going to get into that. Like I have like a bias with, like I said, DC. You know what I'm saying? Because like Yo is from there. But the overall point is, it's how they're going about it. And so what I want to say this is, would anybody here be fine if they did this in Charlotte?
Nah, I completely wouldn't be.
And so I'm not trying to like hold the floor. What bothered me was the police were saying that we need the help. And like there's this big connotation on Charlotte, all these other things. You can drive around with 30-day tags for like $300 and then it'll pull you over. I think the main problem is like, who do we have in the police to where the police are like, hey, I'm about to tap out. Y'all come handle them. There's a core problem with our police officers. If they can't handle these crimes, get the forensics done. And even if there are murders and shootings in Charlotte, what I hate when it comes to the Charlotte aspect of this, a lot of these guys are getting caught. They're easily getting caught. Like there'll be an update like a week, 2 weeks where the person's getting caught.
This is also fair.
So I'm just like why would we need the National Guard? You're not like, and then it goes back to the whole, well, we have like our amendment right to where we don't want checks and balances on guns. Well, this is the result of that. You know what I'm saying? So,
it's hard to get niggas off the guns. I ain't gonna lie. I've tried, and from black folk to white folk, it don't matter. They love their guns. But no, I agree with everything that you're saying. I think that in Charlotte, it doesn't specifically make sense.
It definitely doesn't.
And I don't think the crime rate is crazy enough. I don't like that. I think like it's an appeal to. I don't know whether it's like I don't know what the appeal is. I think a lot of it just comes around the whole little stabbing of the lady on the train, and I think everybody thinks that's awful. But my thing is that why are we attempting to do a thing that is proven not to work anyway?
We're not attempting to do it. I'm not saying. I think I agree with
so what are you talking
first?
Trump, when Trump is sending in troops to a city, they're attempting to over police a population. They are attempting to do it. I don't understand.
But why should I overreact when they just sent them same people to DC and it didn't go that bad? Why should I overreact?
We also it's weird. We also walked through how even DC was different than Chicago and then different than Memphis. So he just gave an example of what happened in Chicago that was different than what happened inside DC. Again, DC, they weren't even armed at a spot.
So in Chicago, and the people they were arresting falsely people, all these people that used to be arrested.
Imagine just getting drug out, whether you were arrested officially or not, in the middle of the night for a raid, even though you're innocent and not doing anything.
That's the problem. They're just
that's not crazy to you.
They took everyone out of their homes, apartments in like one hood. Like I think Chicago has like those big square brick buildings. They just went in there and told everyone like, "Hey, everybody get out."
And would you say zip tied hands?
Zip tied. Even like the kids said, "Fuck them kids."
It's not crazy to you. That's cool to you. All right, cool. We just having different conversations. Welcome to the show, Chuck. What's going on?
There was one time where they went a little too far. I'll give you that.
This
they
nigga
went
here.
too far on that one. Yeah, that's one example though.
That precedent doesn't mean anything to you. It's fucking Chuck. Welcome to the show, guy. What's going on?
Salute. How you doing? How you doing? Well, thanks for having me up on the panel.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I am getting mixed feeds on this issue. I have heard some people say this is militarized policing, this is martial law, it's disproportionately impacting Black Americans. And it's a scary situation. It is like fascism on the rise. But there are videos of Black people in these same areas saying how the streets are safer, we can walk around. I don't feel fear of walking down the street. I can, the people who are committing the crimes, they're either been apprehended or they're hiding. So it seems there are mixed. There's different ways to look at this. So my question is: would you rather suffer from too many crimes or too much law enforcement? I think this is there's a sweet spot here.
Right. Well, I think that I don't know if what you're asking answers the question. I think that the solution isn't over policing at all ever. So I think that social programs and like rising the basement of what people live at in itself helps crime and it solves crime. And anytime that these things happen, i.e. Baltimore, DC is like their crime rate is reducing off of the implementation of social programs, especially when they're pushed towards the youth. I think that like we see things that does work, and policing doesn't work. Over policing doesn't work. It doesn't reduce crime, and it just leads to more people being, I guess, arrested and whatever the whole thing is. But if it doesn't reduce crime, to me, like I don't know
But
how.
do we know, is that really true? That it does policing, like do people commit crimes in the presence of police officers? Will a heavy police presence not reduce crime? Because people are going to hesitate to do crimes if there's a police officer in their line of sight or in constant patrols. Do you understand how that could reduce crime? You mentioned earlier that martial law would reduce crime. So you're saying that it wouldn't reduce crimes. Go ahead, sir.
Oh well, I guess what I was saying, like if we go into like explicit, like you said, fascist martial law, where there's a armed military policeman on every single corner, and they're patrolling, and we're inside. What is that? 1987 or whatever the name of that book is. I think that yes, you can limit it to zero. That also would not be America at all. And but in general, when we look at what over policing has done. Hence what I have pulled up right here. It doesn't decrease crime. And to me, if it doesn't decrease crime, then I don't know that to be a solution, especially if we have seen other solutions that does decrease crime.
But if you were to ask the average resident, would you rather suffer from gang violence or policing? Like what would they choose? If would you rather be in fear of gangs or in fear of the National Guard? Go ahead, sir.
Well, I think that like these are almost extreme to a point of a straw man. I think that anybody would much rather be able to walk up and down their street safe, and that be the thing. And you changed it at the very end when you said policing and then with National Guard. And I think that there's a difference in there as well. But and I think that comes inside like more of a governmental overreach nationalistic space. I am not anti-policing. So like I don't have a specific anti-policing stance. I think that adequate policing makes sense. Like I don't think that you should just leave like Black areas lawlessness, and there shouldn't be a police presence at all. I think that policing doesn't do anything beneficial though, and that there's better resources that can be translated that helps the population to where they don't commit crimes, and that's been seen. I also think
remember No, I was just going to say real quick. Our previous conversation, I brought this up that the basic what I see the government is a protection racket. That is to say, people. The government collects money in the form of taxes in order to provide infrastructure, but also to protect people from, each other and from military invasion. So this is the basic essence of any nation state is the protection racket. They're going to collect your money to protect you from violence from fellow citizens, but also from invasion. Is Trump not fulfilling this aspect of the deal by using the National Guard to reduce violence in the cities and reduce, let's say people, pay taxes. If a person is
Yeah, I don't.
deleted, they're not going to
It's,
pay taxes. So wouldn't it be in his interest to reduce the number of people getting deleted just to increase his tax revenue at the end of the day? Go ahead.
again, I think that you're framing like it's so much that I just can't really agree with. So one, it does have to be said that Trump is employing the National Guard, not specifically everywhere that it's needed, as much as against his political opponents. And so, like, I don't know how altruistic he is inside his deploying of the National Guard. The second thing that you said, like, he's wanting to reduce, what did you say, crime
Or
and
reduce violence in
and,
specific area.
and this will help tax revenue. The thing is that like a rolling National Guard going from city to city, showing force for a month, isn't reducing the crime inside these states, these places. Inside like any long-term point, it's just showing military force and flexing my power of what I can do. So even if, let's say, crime just was hypothetically eliminated for that month, as soon as they leave, guess what happens?
That's what's about to ask next. What happens after that?
Yeah, like it's not like this is like a concept where they're keeping, and I'm completely against them keeping National Guard enforcing law and militarizing American cities. And this is where now, once we, like, again, when you're speaking about like nation states and structures, I think that every country and the precedents within that country is different also. And so there's a lot of like second and third world countries where a military presence is necessary inside their with their people and their civilians.
But let me ask you this.
America has never been that, and I think that the American populace is against that in general. And that is something we've all been put on, ingrained, and don't believe in. And so, like,
Right.
these are where I would disagree inside of all the points that you made.
Okay, one last point I just wanted to lay out. So let's say we're in a very politically active time. Let's say there's a lot of polarization, political assassinations are happening. If America were to slide into civil conflict or civil war, would that now change your feeling of having a National Guard presence? If we are in a civil war, would people prefer the presence of a National Guard as opposed to not? Go ahead, sir.
Yes. Yeah, I think that a civil war would be different. I think that people probably fuck with the National Guard then.
Right. So I think I think
like right now the black community is inside a civil war though.
Okay. All right, but if things escalate, let's say if there's more events, how bad would it have to get until you change your mind on the National Guard? How bad does it have to get until you say, you know what, it's not so bad? Go ahead, sir.
Are you talking about like inside, like the steps of it becoming a civil war?
Violence. How bad does violence have to get before? In America, in your specific area, let's say in Memphis or whatever your environment is, what level of violence is suitable until you say, bring in the Guard?
Bring in the National Guard. I guess it would have to be like some version of like complete lawlessness. It had to be on the rates of like consistent hyper third world countries or some shit like
basically
this.
if like it was a Hurricane Katrina, there was no power, everyone's like,
and it's just like,
it had to be
like a crazy, it would have to be in almost a dystopian American version, like a reality that's dystopian to American life.
And that's like what people say Katrina was. And like I can only think about the horrors of like what happened like in the Superdome. Like they actually got like another documentary about that. But yeah, I think it has to be something like that. Basically.
What time is it? Oh shit! It's 9 o'clock.
Well, just put.
Oh my bad. All right, so my bad. Let's go. Let's go. Really quickly. We're gonna do 5. We're gonna do a minute with Kofi, and we're gonna do a minute with Unc, and then we got to tap. I did not know. Good God. Okay, my bad. Hey, we in here having conversations. Appreciate you, Chuck. Damn. All right, my bad. What's up, Kofi? You got a minute on the clock. I didn't realize we had ran this late. Talk to me.
I try to keep it short, but I'm gonna have to gloat and say I told y'all so. Once before, when we were voting, and I was talking about Project 2025.
Okay.
Niggas was saying I was scared, being hyperbolic, all that dumb shit. Now we got Russell Vaught, which is the author of Project 2025. He's head of all these committees, and Trump is like saying, "Ha ha ha! Told you so, told you so." So I had to get that out the way. Until y'all say Kofi, you was right, I'm gonna keep rubbing it in y'all face. But I love y'all. I love y'all. And shout out to the brother there in a white t-shirt. You know, say I don't know you, but I like the comments.
Like if you give like the overall of like whether it's Unpacked or the To Be Fair show, I say fair game.
We'll take.
I don't think I specifically said those things, but I do think that there's a general sentiment around a majority of people inside one or both of the shows that have had that sentiment. So fair.
Yeah. And there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing wrong. I'm just gloating because
Oh no, we having fun.
But basically, it's something that I think Chuck. We shout out to Chuck Wade. I was just here. It's something that we were both saying, and that we were saying like Donald Trump is going to use ICE as a proxy, as a reason to invade black spaces, to police black people, right? Knowing, of course, on black Americans, you're American citizens, but him playing around with the 14th Amendment, him using ICE. So the thing that happened in Chicago, it's a black neighborhood. And when I heard, well, no, they were saying they were looking for a Trende Aragua. You go into a black apartment building looking for a Trende Aragua? Like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, don't worry. Johnny's still with it. Johnny, he is for them folks running down on black people.
Black folk.
You know what I'm saying? And what's going on there in Memphis is also despicable, but in a way, when it comes to Fat Boy, aka Mushmouth, what I call him, I'm kind of glad that's fucking happening, because again, these are people that saying that it's not gonna happen. Well, I'm not an immigrant, so and I look different from an African and a Caribbean, all this stupid shit. But again, now when it's happening to you, now it's like, oh my god. So and it's still on social media. You see a lot of people distancing themselves and say, well, see, because you were next to these type of people, that's why it's happening to you. Like, when are we going to understand that it's something to take seriously? We have to have like a preemptive strike mentally of saying like, hey, look, this shit can happen to us because it's happening to other black people in the country. So that's all I wanted to say, man. Good topic, good subject. I know you got to get out, and peace to everybody on the panel.
Yes, sir.
Peace, Kofi.
Yes, sir. All right, we're gonna bring up Unc to close us out.
Part
last
2.
minute. Unc, talk to us. Unc, you still there?
You muted, Unc.
Yeah, if you're talking, you're muted.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Like Kofi said, you know what I mean? Some of us say that it's by where we're at and things that happen. Yes, it is. A lot of it, I believe it happens. And you know my idea of the American nigger. The American nigger is the American nigger. They would put it towards the whites if they were closer in distance towards, you know what I'm saying, them doing the crimes they doing with each other, because white on white crimes is not reported the way black on black crimes are. And that just so happened that we sit closer to where white people with money live at. And with that happening, you know what I'm saying, they're going to do that. And it's also with us, with the ignorance that happens with us, with this, I'm not going to snitch and all this bullshit that goes on. Now, they are wrong as hell for what they're doing. Yes, they are wrong as hell. But, you know, as I always say, niggas got to be handled differently. Niggas got to be handled differently. Not black people, but niggas. Mm-hmm. They would handle them white niggas the same way they do black niggas. And if it was a Hispanic community that was big as the black communities, it will be handled the same way, and it is handled the same way. The thing is that people are so afraid to say that, you know what I'm saying, American nigga is a breed of us, and that we sit around and all this thing is happening to them or happening to people that are breaking the laws and all this. And Johnny gonna sit and say what he gonna say, because Johnny want to be around them white people because he like them white women. Them white women, goddamn, as long as he agree with the white man, he could be in the consumption of his white women that it fills him up in his heart to be around them white women. So it ain't got nothing to do with none of the rest of that. But I'm just saying, all of this is because we are to them in their proximity. Love y'all. I love you, Johnny. You know I'm gonna fuck with you, but I'm just speaking. That's all I'm saying. But we are close in proximity to them where the money is at than the poor whites are at. So they're gonna do it more towards us. And
Gotcha.
that's what it happens. And it's wrong. It's wrong as hell. But until we have to ourselves see that we are doing wrong and we need to hold each other for the wrong things that we're doing, until then, all of us are going to be looked at as fuck ups. And we not all fuck ups because you a black man, you a black man, you a black man. None of y'all are niggas. But y'all going to be looked like niggas as long as what I'm saying, that don't snitch shit happens. And Johnny, leave them damn white women alone. Love y'all. 1,000.
Them young white women too. All right, love y'all.
Hey, look.
All right, fellas, this has been a fun episode.
It's been a
conversation was so good we forgot it was 9 o'clock.
We definitely got going. We thought it was.
Oh, we started late. That was what the issue was.
Man. We still went.
I'll be looking at the clock. Like we'll do a 2.5 hours.
Yeah, but we did start late.
That's what the issue was.
We do, but we appreciate everybody
Mm-hmm.
for tapping into the chat. Y'all was active today, man. We appreciate that. Y'all hit the like button below, subscribe. Catch us. We'll be back Wednesday, 9:30. But I am your host, Johnny P. Old head real.
It's Q.
And we got special guests in the building, Big Quinn.
Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, that's right. I appreciate it
Q2.
being on camera for the first time. So it's not gonna be the last time either. So I'm glad I could contribute to this. This is fun.
As we tap out, my favorite thing is that when it started, them lights had him hot. He was sweating over there. Now you cooled down, you done got comfortable, you done chilled. At first, we seen them beats and sweats coming. But now
the lights is right in here.
Yeah. But we out.